My child, stop what you're doing, because what I'm about to say might be the last time you ever hear me like this. This is not just another message. It's not just words on a screen. This is a divine interruption, a holy moment carved out of eternity for you. I have watched you drift. I have waited through your silence. And now, I'm speaking with a fire that demands your full attention. Don't scroll. Don't skip. Don't treat this like it's ordinary, because it's not. What I'm about to reveal carries the weight of your next season, your next breath, your eternal direction. Stay with me. From beginning to end. There is something hidden in this message that your soul cannot afford to miss. And when it's over, you won't be able to say, I didn't know. Because now you know. And what you do next will echo forever. My beloved child, pause now. Not in hesitation, not in fear, but in the kind of holy stillness that shakes the atmosphere around you. Because what I am saying in this moment carries a weight that eternity itself bends toward. Stop everything, not out of obligation, but because heaven has carved out this breath, this heartbeat, this exact second with a precision far beyond what your natural mind can comprehend. You think you simply arrived here, but I drew you here. You felt a pull that you tried to dismiss, a stirring you tried to rationalize, a nudge you brushed aside as emotion. But child, it wasn't emotion. It was me summoning your spirit into alignment with a message I can no longer delay. There are moments in your life that drift by like gentle winds, easily forgotten, barely felt. But this is not one of them. This is a moment where the veil between the seen and unseen has thinned, where the chambers of heaven have opened, where the urgency of my voice presses like fire against the walls of your heart. This might be the last time you ever listen from me in this tone, with this intensity, with this kind of unfiltered divine intervention, because what I am about to say cannot be postponed and cannot be spoken lightly. There are truths you have avoided, whispers you've pushed aside, signs you've walked past. But now the hour demands your full attention because the spiritual weight of your next steps is greater than you realize. I have watched you rush through your days with 1,000 thoughts pulling you in every direction. I have watched your heart grow tired of the noise, the pressure, the unanswered questions that swirl like storms around your mind. But today, right now, I have stepped between those storms and placed my hand upon the very center of your being to say, stop. Listen. You may. You cannot afford to glide past this encounter the way you have glided past so many divine interruptions before. You cannot afford to let your mind wander to the next task, the next worry, the next distraction. This is the moment where heaven leans close, where every word I speak becomes a seed that determines the landscape of your future. I summoned you here not because you were ready, but because it was time. Time for truth to hit your spirit like a wave that cannot be ignored. Time for the ache you carry to finally meet the revelation I have been holding. Time for the weariness in your soul to collide with the clarity you've begged me for in the hidden places. This moment is sacred, child. This moment is not ordinary. This moment is one of those rare intersections where destiny shifts, where protection is reinforced, where warnings must be spoken before the enemy builds walls too thick for you to climb. The weight you feel, the tremble in your spirit, the sudden quiet around your emotions, that is the evidence that I, the God who formed you, have entered the conversation with full authority. And when I come like this, I do not come to soothe alone. I come to redirect, to awaken, to reveal, to safeguard your destiny with words that cannot be ignored. So still yourself, beloved. Let nothing distract you. Because this moment, holds more power than you can yet understand. My child, hear me with the fullness of your heart, for I am drawing you into a moment unlike any you've experienced before. This is not a whisper drifting through your thoughts, nor a gentle nudge that you can casually overlook. This is a divine summons, an echo from eternity calling you by name. I am placing my hand upon the timeline of your life and halting the rush of days long enough to speak what heaven had been waiting to release. You have stood at the edges of purpose, tasting glimpses of what I've prepared, yet hesitating to step deeper because fear, distraction, and exhaustion have tangled themselves around your soul. But my voice comes now with the force of a father refusing to let his child drift into danger unalerted. I speak not to alarm you, but to awaken you. I call you not to frighten you, but to free you. I interrupt your routine because your routine has lulled you into spiritual fatigue, and the path before you requires awareness you cannot access while your heart is scattered. So stop, beloved, not out of fear but out of reverence, out of recognition that what I am saying in this moment carries the potential to shift everything you assume about your future. This might be the last time you hear me in this level of urgency, not because I am abandoning you, but because there are messages that can only be spoken at the threshold of transition, and you are standing on that threshold now. Here is something unfolding around you that your eyes have not yet seen. Something approaching your life that heaven can no longer allow you to ignore. You have sensed change coming, felt the trembling beneath your spirit, noticed the subtle tightening inside your chest that you couldn't explain. Those sensations were not anxiety. They were the vibrations of destiny calling your name. And now, I am stepping forward to speak plainly. This moment is pivotal. The choices you make after this word will determine whether you step into the fullness of what I prepared or remain entangled in cycles that were never meant to define you. I am not here to scold you. I am not here to judge you. I am here to rescue you from missing what your spirit has longed for but your mind has resisted. I see where you've been drifting. I see the inner battles, the ones no one else notices. The ones hidden behind your resilience, your smile, your quiet strength. What I am calling you now, firmly, lovingly, with divine authority, because I will not let what I placed inside you be swallowed by distraction or delayed by indecision. Hear me. When I summon like this, it is because heaven is already in motion. Angels are already positioned. Doors are already aligning. And the enemy is already reacting. That is why I need you here, fully present, fully listening. Child, this is not a moment to skim over. This is not a message to revisit later. This is the moment where I am reaching into the very architecture of your destiny and saying, stay with me. Listen now. Everything depends on your attention. And as you continue with me through the next message points, you will feel the unfolding, the unveiling, the divine urgency shaping every word, because I am not speaking to your ears alone. I am speaking to the deepest part of you, the part that knows when heaven is whispering truth. Stay with me now. I am just beginning. My beloved child, lean closer now, because what I am about to tell you cannot be treated as common, casual, or familiar. This is not just another moment. This is not another comforting whisper drifting through your thoughts. This is not even the kind of revelation I have given you in past seasons. No, this moment is heavy with divinity, saturated with urgency, wrapped in a rare intensity that heaven itself rises to acknowledge. I am speaking to you with a sharpness, a clarity, a holy seriousness that echoes like thunder through the unseen realms. This is your wake-up call, yes, but not just any wake-up call. This is the final nudge before a shift so significant, so sweeping, so irreversible that once it begins, nothing in your life will resemble what was. I am not unveiling this to frighten you, but to fortify you, to lift the veil that has clouded your discernment and draw your eyes to what is stirring behind the curtains of the natural world. Child, I need you to understand. This message is not ordinary because the hour is not ordinary. There are moments where my voice soothes. There are moments where my voice whispers. But then there are moments, like this one, where my voice must cut through the static of your life with fire, with precision, with undeniable impact. I am speaking now with a tone that matches the magnitude of what approaches. You have felt the atmosphere trembling around you. You have sensed the subtle tightening inside your spirit. You have walked through days where the air felt heavier, decisions felt weightier, and your soul whispered, "Something is shifting." You thought it was stress, emotion, overthinking, but child, it was me. I've been stirring the waters in your life, sending divine disruption to loosen the grip of everything that has tried to lull you into spiritual sleep. Because you have been standing on the edge of a cliff, not a cliff of danger, but a cliff of destiny. And before you step into what lies beyond it, your spirit must awaken with the full force of truth. This message is your holy alarm, your divine interruption, your moment of reckoning and realignment. I am shaking you gently, then firmly, then fiercely, because the transition ahead demands a version of you that is awake, aware, and aligned. Hear me. This might be the last time I speak to you in this particular tone, because once the shift begins, my voice will come differently, still loving, still present, but carrying new instructions, new expectations, new responsibilities. This moment is the crossing point, the dividing line, the threshold where old patterns cannot survive and new strength must emerge. And I am calling you with the urgency of a father who sees what is coming and refuses to let his child walk into a supernatural transition half awake. Listen, child, because this is the part your spirit has been trembling for. The shift that is approaching is not small, not subtle, not symbolic. It is monumental. It is orchestrated. It is divinely timed with the precision of 1,000 prophecies converging at once. The warfare you felt recently, more intense than usual, more personal, more relentless, was not because you were weak, but because the enemy sensed what heaven is preparing to release. You have been standing in the crosswinds of two realms, the fading season behind you and the rising season before you. You have felt stretched, pressed, unsettled, like someone standing between two doors, unsure which one will open first. That unease was not a flaw, it was a signal. I allowed the pressure to build because pressure sharpens awareness. Pressure awakens dormant discernment. Pressure amplifies the whisper of my spirit until it becomes unmistakable. And now, as I speak, I need you to feel the weight of this truth. The hour has changed. A clock in the spiritual realm has struck a new moment, and with it comes a shift that will demand your full attention and immediate alignment. What once worked will no longer work. What once felt comfortable will now feel constricting. What once seemed tolerable will now feel spiritually poisonous. Child, this is not punishment. This is preparation. I'm telling you plainly, everything around you is beginning to move. The ground beneath your feet is changing textures. The path ahead is opening in ways you've prayed for but did not envision, and the forces of heaven are taking their positions. This is why I said this message is not ordinary. Ordinary messages do not reposition destinies. Ordinary words do not realign timelines. Ordinary whispers do not silence the strategies of hell. But this message does. Because this message carries me, my breath, my intention, my urgency. I am giving you the final wake-up call before the shift breaks open. And when it does, it will be swift, sudden, surprising, and sacred. Doors will appear where there were only walls. Opportunities will unfold that defy logic. People will exit without warning. Connections will emerge without explanation. But you, child, you must be awake enough to recognize what is me and what is counterfeit. That is why this message carries a gravity unlike anything I have spoken to you in the past. This moment is your preparation. This moment is your positioning. This moment is heaven taking your chin gently in its hands and saying, "Do not miss this. Stay with me now, beloved. The shift is coming, and I am readying you for it. My beloved child, allow me to speak to you with a tenderness that carries both love and lament. For while I am the God of thunder and glory, I am also the God of whispers, soft, subtle, sacred nudges that were meant to guide you gently without shaking the foundations of your world. I have whispered to you through quiet thoughts, through sudden pauses, through the unexplainable tightening in your spirit when you were about to step into something not meant for you. I have nudged you through discomfort in conversations, through dreams that carried warnings, through moments when your peace was disturbed for reasons you couldn't name. I have sent signs not to alarm you, but to align you. Yet so many times, my child, those whispers were drowned out by the noise of your life, the constant motion, the familiar distractions, the emotional storms, the voices of others that spoke louder than my still, small call. Do you know how I longed for you to feel me, to sense me, to recognize that it was my hand tugging at the hem of your soul? I sent these gentle cues like breadcrumbs of grace, hoping you would follow them into safety, clarity, and purpose. But so often they were brushed aside, dismissed, or pushed beneath the weight of your busyness. And though I do not condemn you, I do grieve, not because you failed me, but because you suffered unnecessarily in places where my whisper had already offered a way out. I watched you struggle in cycles I tried quietly to break. I watched you repeat decisions I whispered against. I watched you place your heart in hands I nudged you to withdraw from. I watched you walk paths that felt familiar but were leading you away from the joy, peace, and strength I had prepared. And each time I whispered, each time I tugged, each time I sent that soft signal into your spirit, it was not to control you, it was to protect you. My whispers were warnings wrapped in love. My nudges were course corrections wrapped in mercy. My signs were lifelines wrapped in patience. But the world around you grew louder, and your heart grew weary, and you became so used to surviving that you forgot how to sense subtlety. You forgot how to pause long enough to feel the shift in your spirit. You forgot how to listen for the gentle rustling of divine direction. Yet even then, I did not stop whispering. Even then, I did not withdraw my guidance. Even then, I kept sending small signs, because I knew one day the accumulated weight of my whispers would finally catch your attention the way they are catching your attention now. And child, they have. You are hearing me now because your soul has reached the place where silence feels sacred again. Your heart has softened. Your spirit has leaned forward. The distractions have lost their flavor. And now, at last, you can hear not only my voice, but my heart. My child, let me tell you something you have not understood until this moment. None of my whispers were wasted. Even the ones you ignored. Even the ones you misunderstood. Even the ones you brushed aside because you thought they were just your thoughts or random emotions. Every whisper was a seed planted in your spirit, waiting for the hour when it would bloom into understanding. You may not have followed the nudge at the time, but the memory of it remained. You may not have seen the sign clearly, but your spirit stored it. All those subtle warnings, all those quiet encouragements, all those unexplainable hesitations, they were me shaping your discernment slowly, steadily, silently. I was training your inner ears to recognize my tone. I was building your sensitivity in the shadows of your life. I was preparing you to hear me not only in whispers but in the thunder you are hearing now. And though I grieved the pain you carried because the whispers were overlooked, I rejoice that you are finally in a place where my whisper can become your anchor again. But hear me. I am speaking with more intensity now, not because I am frustrated, but because the season has shifted. The subtle cues were for a previous chapter. The gentle nudges were for the earlier stages of your growth. But the path ahead requires clarity, not hints. It requires direction, not impressions. It requires revelation, not suggestion. That is why my tone has changed. That is why my voice feels heavier, richer, sharper. I am no longer whispering through the cracks of your busy life. I am standing before you, speaking with the force of a father who will not allow his child to walk blindly into a battle that demands full awareness. And yet, even as I speak with urgency, my heart remains tender toward you. I do not blame you for missing the whispers. I do not accuse you. I do not hold it against you. Instead, I invite you to see how much I have pursued you. How many times I tried to shield you before the storm grew fierce. How many times I tried to redirect you before the path grew painful. How many times I tried to pull you close before loneliness wrapped itself around your soul. My sorrow is not disappointment in you. It is compassion for what you endured. And my joy is this moment, because you are finally hearing me without filters, without fear, without distraction. Stay with me, child. The whispers have become words. The hints have become clarity. The subtle has become sacred instruction. And I am not done speaking. My beloved child, listen to me with the fullness of your trembling heart, because what I speak now carries a level of heavenly urgency that cannot be softened or diluted. There are moments in your life when I whisper, and there are moments when I wait. But then there are rare, sacred, weight-bearing moments like this, moments when heaven presses its palm against the timeline of your destiny and says, "This cannot be postponed." You stand right now in such a moment. I do not say this to frighten you. I say it to awaken you. Because while my love is eternal and my patience is immeasurable, your opportunities are not. Seasons shift. Windows close. Alignments expire. Not because I withdraw my grace, but because certain breakthroughs require your response while the atmosphere is ripe with divine alignment. My child, hear me. This might be the last gentle call before the winds of consequence begin to blow. Not punishment, not wrath, but the natural unraveling that occurs when a soul delays while destiny accelerates. Time does not stop simply because you hesitate. The river of your calling continues to flow, and if you do not step in, it moves without you into places you were meant to inhabit. This is why my voice trembles with tenderness and urgency. Heaven is leaning in, waiting for your yes, waiting for your surrender, waiting for the shift inside you that signals I can move freely, fully, fiercely on your behalf. You have felt the restlessness, the stirring, the sense that something is changing in the heavens, even if nothing looks different on earth. You have sensed that time feels tighter, decisions feel heavier, and distractions feel more dangerous. That is not anxiety, that is awareness. Your spirit is detecting the divine countdown. The sand in the hourglass of your current season is running low, and I am pulling you close because I do not want you to remain standing on the shores of hesitation while the tide of transformation rises. There are places I have been trying to lead you. There are people I have been trying to separate you from. There are instructions I have whispered repeatedly, yet fear, fatigue, and familiarity have muffled the urgency. But child, the hour has shifted, and what once could be delayed can no longer be delayed. You are standing in the sacred tension between mercy extended and movement required. And if you could see the spiritual realm right now, if you could see the angels taking their positions, the demons forming their strategies, the pathways of promise beginning to glow with divine illumination, you would understand why my voice has become fire instead of mist. This is not condemnation. This is protection. This is preparation. This is me shielding you from walking blindly into consequences that delayed obedience creates. Let me tell you something with holy honesty, child. Delayed obedience becomes silent sabotage. Not because you are bad, but because waiting too long gives the enemy permission to weave webs you were never meant to encounter. When you delay, doubt grows. When you delay, distractions deepen. When you delay, doors that were meant to swing open begin to rust under the weight of hesitation. And I, your God, your Father, your Protector, cannot allow you to drift unaware into a season shaped by delay instead of destiny. That is why my voice comes now like a lifeline, like lightning, like a loving yet unignorable alarm clock shaking your spirit awake. Heaven is ready to move. Heaven is ready to release. Heaven is ready to shift. But heaven cannot override your will. And so I stand here, not shouting in anger but calling with compassion, saying, respond now, child. Align now. Move now. Not because I am impatient, but because the window is narrowing. The timing is tightening. The divine choreography of your life is in motion, and your part must begin. You do not see the pressure that is forming behind spiritual barriers, pressure that, when released, will either break blessings open or break patterns open, depending on your response. Understand something. When I say this might be the last gentle call, I do not mean I will abandon you. I mean the tone of my voice will change. Gentle warnings will become firm instructions. Whispers will become directives. Nudges will become unavoidable crossroads. Because when destiny reaches certain thresholds, softness must give way to strategy. And child, you are standing at such a threshold. This is why the atmosphere feels charged. This is why your emotions feel stretched. This is why your thoughts feel sharp one moment and scattered the next. Your spirit is wrestling with the realization that something has to change. And you are right. Something must shift inside you before I can shift the world around you. My heart aches with love as I say this. I do not want the consequences of delay to teach you what my voice is trying to tell you now. Learn through revelation, not through repercussion. Move through alignment, not through aftermath. This is your moment, your pivot, your turning point, your holy crossroads. Answer me now, beloved. Let this urgency become your clarity. Let this clarity become your obedience. And let your obedience unlock the season waiting for you with open arms. My beloved child, let me unveil a truth that I have shielded you from until now, not to alarm you but to awaken you. You have been walking closer to danger than your eyes were able to perceive. Not because you chose recklessly, but because darkness has learned how to disguise itself in familiar shapes. The enemy never comes announcing his intentions. He comes camouflaged in comfort, cloaked in convenience, wrapped in routines that feel safe but slowly suffocate your spirit. You thought you were simply tired. You thought you were emotionally overwhelmed. You thought you were wrestling with ordinary pressure. But child, what you were actually feeling were the subtle tremors of spiritual danger pressing closer than it should have ever been allowed to come. You walked with shadows that pretended to be companions. You entertained thoughts that pretended to be truth. You allowed certain patterns to linger because they seemed harmless. Yet behind their harmless exterior, there were hooks, traps, threads of bondage waiting for the perfect moment to tighten. And I, your shield, your defender, your fierce protector, have been intercepting what you did not even know was aiming for you. You did not see the arrows flying toward your mind in the night. You did not see the spiritual snares laid along your path, hidden beneath emotional exhaustion. You did not see the whispered lies that aimed to reshape your identity brick by brick. But I saw them all. I saw every plot, every plan, every scheme, every subtle snare. I saw how close some of them came to capturing your peace, your focus, your future. And my heart burned with protective fire. Time after time, I stepped between you and attacks designed to derail you. I redirected conversations. I unsettled your spirit around certain people. I closed doors you begged me to open because behind those doors lurked consequences that would have crushed your soul. I let relationships fall apart that you didn't understand because one more day with them would have entangled you in deception. You thought you were losing. You thought you were being abandoned. You thought things were falling apart. But child, they were falling away. These were not losses. They were lifelines. What you thought was rejection was actually rescue. What you called delay was divine detour. What you labeled confusion was spiritual protection wrapping itself around your destiny. But now, child, I must speak plainly. The danger is not behind you yet. It is still circling, still watching, still waiting for you to grow weary enough to let your guard down. The enemy does not fear your past victories. He fears your future assignments. He fears the places I am calling you. He fears the authority awakening in you. He fears the clarity that is rising in your spirit. And so he has attempted to keep you distracted, discouraged, doubtful, because a distracted believer does not discern danger, and a discouraged believer does not walk boldly into destiny. But hear me. I will not allow you to remain uninformed. I will not allow you to walk blindly when the stakes of your calling are this high. You have been grazing too close to the edge of a cliff, not realizing how thin the ground beneath your assumptions has become. Your spirit felt it, that quiet unease, that strange heaviness, that sudden hesitation that appeared in moments where everything looked fine on the surface. That was not anxiety. That was not mood. That was my spirit warning you that danger was disguising itself as normalcy. Child, the greatest dangers are never loud. They are lingering, lurking, low level, like a leak instead of a flood, like erosion instead of explosion, like compromise instead of catastrophe. But make no mistake, the quiet dangers are the most destructive because they grow roots while you are sleeping. But hear me now. Your awakening changes everything. Once light enters a room, darkness loses all power to hide. Once truth touches your spirit, deception begins to starve. Once revelation rises within you, manipulation collapses. That is why I am revealing this now, not for you to fear, but for you to see, to recognize, to rise. Because when you become aware of the danger, you also become aware of the authority I have placed within you to overcome it. The enemy has been too close, yes, but he is not stronger than the God who surrounds you. He has whispered lies, yes, but he does not have the final word. He has waited for weakness, yes, but my strength is being perfected in you this very moment. I am pulling back the veil so you can walk in wisdom, not worry. Discernment, not dread. Authority, not anxiety. This revelation is not meant to terrify you. It is meant to transform you. You are stepping out of danger now, child. You are stepping into awareness, into protection, into partnership with my spirit. And once a child of God becomes aware of the enemy's tactics, the enemy loses access. Stay close to me. Stay awake. Stay aligned. And nothing, absolutely nothing, will be able to touch the destiny I have marked with my name. My precious child, I need you to feel the weight of this truth, not to crush you, but to carry you. I have intervened more times than you will ever know. In the silence, In the stillness, in the seconds you never thought I was near, I was there. I have stepped between you and danger in the dark hours when you thought you were alone. I have routed attacks that were never announced, intercepted lies that never left the lips of your enemies, and shut down spiritual ambushes before you even sensed the war. You thought it was coincidence when the wrong person ghosted you, when the job didn't call back, when the car didn't start on the day you were rushing. But child, those weren't glitches. They were divine glitches. Interruptions orchestrated by a father who refuses to let his child fall into traps I see long before you do. My silence was never my absence. I've been active in your atmosphere every single day. I've been behind the scenes, between the lines, beneath the surface, building walls of fire around you when the enemy thought he had a clear path. You didn't see the shadows I cleared. You didn't hear the conversations I shut down. You didn't notice the unseen hands I held back. But I did it anyway. Not because you asked. Not because you saw. But because I love you. Fiercely. Fully. Without pause. You see, protection doesn't always look like rescue. Sometimes protection looks like prevention. I save you from things that never had the chance to touch you, and you didn't even know they were coming. And that's how I wanted it. I don't protect you for applause. I don't reveal every battle because I'm not trying to overwhelm your heart with warfare. I'm trying to preserve your strength for your purpose. If you knew every single time I stepped in, your knees would buckle from the sheer magnitude of my mercy. But child, you need to know this now because of what's ahead. I am bringing this to your attention not for nostalgia but for revelation. You need to understand the scope of my protection so you can carry the weight of what I'm about to release. If you trust me only when you can trace me, your faith will falter in the silent seasons. But if you realize that the invisible fingerprints of my intervention are on every page of your life, then you will begin to walk with the kind of unshakable confidence that no enemy can steal. My child, I've been near. I've been busy. I've been building shields around you, even while you slept. And I haven't stopped, not once. Let me show you what you couldn't see. At night you couldn't sleep because your chest felt heavy and your dreams were troubled. It wasn't anxiety. It was me keeping you awake to protect you from a decision that would have brought spiritual entanglement. The job you mourned when they rejected you. It wasn't your loss. It was your liberation. Had I allowed you to enter that space, it would have drained your anointing and silenced your discernment. That person you begged me to restore. I saw the deceit behind their smile, the manipulation dressed in flattery, the spiritual corrosion hidden beneath their promises. So I removed them. Quietly. Surgically. Without spectacle but with exactness. You didn't always understand why things ended. But I did. I ended what you thought was good to preserve what I called holy. My child, you wept over doors I slammed shut, but I wept watching you grieve what was never meant to stay. And even then, I still came close. I held you in your disappointment. I didn't say I told you so. I said I'm still here. That's the kind of father I am. Unseen but not unmoved. Silent but never still. And listen. There were times I didn't just protect you from the enemy. I protected you from you. From the version of yourself that was willing to settle. From the mindset that was shaped by pain, not promise. From the habits that numbed your calling. I placed teachers on paths you prayed for. Not to teach you, but to teach you. Because if you had arrived too early, the blessing would have broken you. The very thing you begged me for would have become a burden because you weren't ready to carry its weight. So I delayed, not to deny you, but to defend your future. I was guarding the garden of your purpose before you even realized how sacred your soil was. And now that you're here, now that your spirit is beginning to understand, I need you to remember, the silence was never inactivity. It was intervention in disguise. And it continues. Even now, I am moving pieces into place, rerouting plots against you, removing access from voices trying to speak confusion into your clarity. I am God, and I never sleep on the security of those I call mine. My child, I speak this to you with urgency laced in love. The window is closing. Not the window of my affection, no, that remains open forever, but the window of alignment, the window of timing, the window that opens once in a divine while and cannot be propped open with good intentions or delayed obedience. You are standing before that window now, and I must be honest with you, heaven's timing has reached its threshold. The fullness of the moment is upon you. That's why everything feels tight. That's why the pressure in your soul has intensified. That's why your emotions have been colliding like waves in a storm. You are not unraveling. You are being summoned. There is a precise spiritual clock ticking in the unseen, and the gears of heaven are turning with divine speed. What I've prepared for you is positioned, poised, and pulsing with the breath of fulfillment, but it will not wait indefinitely. My child, this is the difference between movement and momentum. Movement can start at any time, but momentum is rare. Momentum is sacred. Momentum is the supernatural wind that carries you farther in one step than striving ever could in 1,000. And the wind is blowing now, but it won't blow forever. Just as the Red Sea opened only for a moment, just as Noah's Ark door shut in a specific hour, just as the angel stirred the pool at a precise time, I am stirring your moment now. This is your window. Don't miss it scrolling. Don't miss it second-guessing. Don't miss it explaining to others who were never given the vision. Because once this window closes, it cannot be reopened on your terms. I don't say this to instill fear. I say it to inject focus. Divine opportunities are not based on convenience. They are birthed in convergence. When your obedience meets my orchestration, that is what's happening now. This is the moment you've been praying for without even knowing how to pray it. This is the door you did have language for. But I have crafted it in silence, sculpted it in stillness, and now I place it before you, not as a maybe, but as a must. Step in. Step now. Let me be even clearer, beloved. This divine window isn't just about blessing, it's about becoming. What you choose in the next steps will shape who you are for the coming years. I am not calling you to something small. I'm not calling you to step into familiarity with a fancier name. I'm calling you to step into your fullness, into the version of you I dreamed about before time touched earth. And that version must be launched now, not later, not next season, not someday. That's why the urgency has wrapped itself around your spirit like fire. That's why you feel both holy anticipation and holy discomfort. The window is here. It has arrived not by accident, but by appointment. I've arranged this. I've shifted environments, removed people, stirred your atmosphere, created delays in other areas, all to bring you to this exact minute. And now the minute is here, of an urgent of calling and courage. So child, hear me, move before the window closes. Do not let fear make you miss the future. Do not let delay become your default. Do not let what's easy steal what's eternal. The window is open now, and on the other side of it is everything you said yes to in secret. Everything you laid down without applause. Everything you believed when it hurt. This is not just a new chapter. It's a holy commissioning. You were born for this hinge in time. You were wired for this weight of glory. And as the window begins to narrow, I need your full yes. Not your maybe. Not your one day. Not your partial obedience dressed as spiritual maturity. I need your yes in motion. Because the threshold is thinning. A moment is calling. The Spirit is stirring. And heaven is watching to see if the one I've preserved for such a time as this will walk through the door I've carved in fire. You're ready. Not because you feel ready, but because I've made you ready. And now it's time. My child, I must speak plainly to the deepest part of you, the part that hides beneath your rehearsed answers, beneath the outward compliance, beneath the mask of spiritual activity. What I seek from you now is not performance. It is not perfection. It is surrender, not partial, not seasonal, not situational, but full, ferocious, forever surrender. You have given me pieces. Yes, I saw the tears. I saw the lifted hands. I heard the midnight prayers, and they moved me. They reached me. But I must tell you something you've been afraid to admit. What you've called surrender was often survival. It was desperation dressed in devotion, emotion dressed in obedience. And while I never despised it, I met you there. I cannot let you stay there. Because what I'm doing in you now requires more than emotion. It requires exchange. You can't just lay things at the altar. You must leave them there. At surrender. Not giving with one hand and holding on to the memory with the other. Not letting go in worship only to pick it up and worry. Not trusting me when it's easy and doubting me when it's delayed. My child, what I am calling you into requires an unedited yes. A heart wide open. I will lay down. A soul that no longer bargains with me based on how long the breakthrough takes. You know what full surrender sounds like. It sounds like silence after the striving. It sounds like rest in the middle of uncertainty. It sounds like, even if you don't do it the way I imagined, I still trust you. I am not moved by appearances, I am moved by alignment. You've worshipped me, but I want your will. You've praised me, but I want your patterns. You've given me Sunday, but I want your Tuesday anxiety and your Thursday temptation and your Saturday loneliness. I want the real you, the undone you. I don't have it all figured out you, because that version of you is the one I can transform, trust, and take into territories that are too holy for half-hearted obedience. Partial obedience is still disobedience. Delayed obedience is still defiance. And emotional obedience without action is empty. I am not condemning you. I'm inviting you into more, into fullness, into a depth that goes beyond moments and becomes movement. You've circled this mountain long enough. You've danced with hesitation long enough. You've flirted with obedience long enough. It's time for full surrender. All in, all now. All yours, fully mine. Let me tell you why this surrender is so critical, so urgent, so life-shifting. Because the weight of your calling will crush anything you haven't crucified. The favor I'm releasing demands foundation. The doors I'm opening demand death to ego, to excuses, to emotional roller coasters disguised as spiritual discernment. I can't bring you into the next level if you're still negotiating with me at this one. I need your yes to be louder than your fear. I need your trust to be deeper than your logic. I need your obedience to be faster than your comfort. Surrender is not weakness, child. It is warfare. It is what tears down every stronghold the enemy has tried to build in the silent corners of your heart. When you surrender, you tell hell, I'm done dancing with delay. I'm done negotiating with my old self. I belong to the one who speaks galaxies into existence. That's the kind of yes I'm waiting for. And when I find it in you, I will unleash things you didn't even dare to pray for. But I must tell you, this is not about earning something. You're not striving for approval. You already have my love. You already have my attention. This is about stewardship, about whether you are willing to carry what I'm placing in your hands without letting it slip through the cracks of compromise. That's why I'm pausing here. That's why I'm speaking with this weight, this directness, this holy insistence. Because you're on the edge of elevation, but elevation without surrender becomes ego. It turns calling into chaos. It turns platforms into prisons. But full surrender turns every pain into purpose, every delay into design, every weakness into worship. I'm not asking you to figure it all out. I'm asking you to lay it all down. Say it now, God, I give you everything. And when you say it and mean it, when you say it and live it, when you say it and release it, I will show you what happens when heaven responds to a soul that has nothing left to hide. I'm ready. Are you? My child, let me clarify what the enemy has been trying to confuse. The battles you've faced lately, the tension that won't loosen, the confusion that clouds your clarity, the heaviness that hugs your chest at night. None of it is random. None of it is mere stress. None of it is coincidence. These are not just rough days. These are spiritual alarms, divine alerts ringing from within your soul to say, something deeper is happening. You've been under siege, but not for nothing. You've been wrestling, but not because you're weak. It's because you're on the verge. A breakthrough, of revelation, of walking into something so significant. Hell sent distractions disguised as dilemmas to disorient you. It was an attempted detour. The heaviness wasn't just emotional. It was spiritual warfare pressing down, trying to keep you grounded when I was calling you to rise. You have been hearing whispers in the spirit, but life around you tried to drown them. The weight you felt was not the absence of my voice. It was the pressure of my presence trying to break through your overthinking. Listen, child, when your life becomes loud and your thoughts become tangled, that is often the proof that the enemy is threatened. You do not get attacked in the absence of purpose. You get attacked in the proximity of promise. And that's where you are now. The attacks increased because you were getting closer. The warfare intensified because the wall is about to break. The storm came because the shift was near. You see it now. The patterns of battle were never just personal. They were prophetic. Every conflict was signaling the closeness of divine movement. Every frustration was echoing the sound of chains rattling before they fall off. The enemy wanted you to see the battle as a reason to quit, but I allowed it as a reason to deepen, to sharpen, to train you not to flinch at fiery darts, but to fight from your seat of authority. That's why the pressure didn't break you, it built you. That's why the confusion didn't drown you, it deepened your discernment. I was with you in every wave, and now I'm clarifying what it was all for. You must not let what felt like chaos rob you of what it actually produced, clarity. Because in the middle of the madness, you started to ask better questions. In the middle of the weariness, you found your way back to the whisper. In the center of the shaking, your roots reached deeper into me. That's what the enemy did expect. He expected you to collapse. He expected you to panic. He expected you to numb yourself with old habits. But you didn't. Or if you did, you got back up. That's why I allowed the battle, not to destroy you, but to define you. You are no longer who you were before this confusion came. You are stronger, younger, quieter inside, yet louder in authority. You now know how to recognize when peace departs. You now notice the shift in spiritual atmosphere. You now discern which conversations are draining and which ones are divine. That's because I've been forming a warrior sensitivity inside you. Not paranoia, but precision. So hear me clearly, child. The confusion was not a failure. It was a furnace. And you are coming out refined. The heaviness was not defeat. It was divine resistance. A weight meant to slow you down long enough to see what you would have rushed past. And the battles were not evidence that I abandoned you. They were evidence that I trust you. Yes, trusted. I trusted that you would hear me through the fog. I trusted that even when your emotions betrayed you, your spirit would respond. I trusted that even when you asked why, you would still worship. And you did. And now I am clarifying everything. What felt like breakdown was birthing your breakthrough. What felt like wandering was realignment. What felt like too much was actually me making space for more. Now, child, rise in clarity. Rise in confidence. Rise knowing that the war you've walked through was not wasted. It was woven into your becoming. And I, your God, was with you every moment it screamed, every second it stormed, every breath you thought you couldn't take. I was there, and I am still here. Child, I have waited for this moment with deep, divine patience. Not because I was holding back from you, but because I was waiting for your heart to be still enough, broken enough, ready enough to truly hear me. You see, I do not throw my pearls into noise. I do not speak the weight of heaven's instruction into a soul distracted by the volume of the world. That's why, for so long, I whispered. I sent signs in silence. I stirred your atmosphere with subtle shifts. I allowed space. I watched you wrestle. Not because I abandoned you, but because I was preparing the soil. You were not yet ready. Your heart was still entangled in what was comfortable, still clinging to what I was calling you to release, still romanticizing the past while fearing the future. But now your heart has reached a threshold of readiness. You have been softened by storms, shaped by silence, humbled by waiting, and that has made you finally able to hear me, not just with your ears, but with your life. My words can now take root. My instructions can now be followed without inner resistance. My voice can now be received without needing to wrestle first. You have grown. And because of that, I am speaking to you now with full clarity. This moment marks a divine graduation, an unseen elevation where I shift how I speak to you because of how you've allowed me to shape you. Before, my voice had to come filtered through metaphor and delay. Now, I can speak plainly, boldly, immediately. Before, I had to protect you from certain truths because your heart would have twisted them into fear. But now, your surrender has unlocked deeper clarity. You're no longer chasing confirmation. You're learning to carry conviction. You're no longer addicted to the crowd. You're learning to love communion. You're no longer looking for me in formulas. You're finding me in the secret place. This readiness isn't perfection. It's a pursuit. It's when a heart bows without being asked. When a soul says yes before it even hears the assignment. That is where you are now. And heaven is responding. My voice will come now with more accuracy. You will hear me mid-thought. You will sense me mid-step. You'll know when to speak, when to move, when to wait, because your spirit has finally become a sanctuary for my whispers. And child, that changes everything. Let me show you what this readiness means in your reality. You'll begin to notice that the same things you used to question, you now know. Not in arrogance, but in discernment. The fog is lifting. The confusion is clearing. I'm fine-tuning your frequency to heaven's wavelength. What once took you weeks to process in prayer will now come in moments. You'll be in conversations and feel me highlight words. You'll walk into rooms and instantly sense atmospheres. You'll begin to receive answers before you finish your question, not because I am rushing, but because your readiness has shortened the distance between question and clarity. This is the divine intimacy I always longed to share with you, but it required growth. It required pruning, and you allowed it. You stayed when it hurt. You worshiped through silence. You listened through the noise. And now, I say with joy, your heart is finally ready to carry my clarity. But with clarity comes responsibility. You cannot pretend not to hear what I am now making unmistakable. You cannot act confused when conviction comes clear. This is the maturity I'm inviting you into. When I say move, you move, not because you're afraid, but because you're aligned. When I say no, you yield, not because you lack options, but because you trust my wisdom. Child, I'm not just teaching you to hear my voice, I'm training you to walk in step with it. Clarity isn't just about insight, it's about intimacy. The clearer my voice becomes, the closer I am calling you. And the closer you come, the more I will entrust you with. That's why I brought you here. That's why I allowed what I did. Not to crush you, but to create in you a heart that can hold the weight of my words without dropping them. A heart that won't twist my voice into convenience. A heart that won't trade obedience for popularity. You are becoming that heart. And I am speaking clearly now. Stay with me. There is more. You felt the weight of this word, child. You know this isn't just about you. It's about every soul who still needs to hear what you just heard. I've poured oil over this message, but oil was never meant to stay in the jar. It must be poured out again. And so now, I invite you, be part of the fire I'm sending to others. When you give, whether through super thanks, membership, or that sacred seed through PayPal, you are sowing eternal light into the shadows of someone else's life. Give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. That's not a verse for history. That's me, speaking to you right now. Don't miss this divine window. Support the message I just gave you, and I will multiply it back to you in ways money can't buy. Act now. Click, sow, and watch the harvest come. My child, you must understand something sacred and sobering. I love you fiercely, protectively, endlessly. I have encamped angels around you. I have rerouted plans of destruction with a whisper. I have placed my hand over your life like a shield even when you were running in the opposite direction. But as much as I long to protect you, I will never violate your will. My protection is powerful, but it is not permanent without your partnership. I have preserved you, yes, but I will not override your choices forever. That is the sacred boundary of love. I do not force obedience. I invite it. I do not demand surrender. I wait for it. But, my child, hear me. The time for hesitation has passed. My urgency now is not anger. It is a father's desperation to protect his child from stepping off a spiritual cliff in the name of delay. You have come to the edge. And what happens next will not be determined by my love. It will be determined by your decision. Do not misunderstand me. My grace has not run out. My mercy has not dried up. But the season of being shielded from every consequence is coming to a close. I cannot protect what you insist on pursuing. I cannot bless what you refuse to release. I cannot cover what you continually uncover by walking outside the boundaries of my voice. And this breaks my heart, because I want to protect you. I want to shelter you. I want to walk with you into joy, into purpose, into peace. But I will not drag you. I will not chain you to the altar. I will not override your freedom to choose comfort over calling. That is not love. That is control. And I am not a controller. I am a father. A father who has stood between you and disaster more times than you know. A father who has wept over your self-inflicted storms. A father who has watched you flirt with compromise while praying for breakthrough. Child, this cannot continue. The hour is too urgent. The path ahead is too costly. I am not warning you because I'm mad. I'm warning you because I'm mourning the losses I'm trying to prevent. So here is the holy truth. You are free. Always have been. Always will be. You can walk away. You can choose halfway. You can return to Egypt instead of crossing into Canaan. I will still love you, but I cannot follow you into patterns that lead to destruction. Love never forces, but love does warn. And child, this is your warning, not to terrify you, but to rescue you. You are standing on the edge of decision. If you do not align now, if you do not respond to this divine urgency, I cannot guarantee the delays, distractions, and pain that will follow. Not because I'll cause them, but because I will no longer stand in the way of what your choices are summoning. You prayed for clarity. This is clarity. You asked for a sign. This is your sign. You said, God, speak to me loud enough that I won't miss it. This is that moment. But I cannot make the decision for you. That is the sacred trust I've given you. And it is the trust I now place before you once more. Choose me, not casually, not occasionally, but entirely. Choose me over comfort. Choose me over fear. Choose me over familiarity. If you do, I will protect what's ahead. I will shield your steps. I will silence the lies. I will cancel every assignment against you. But if you don't, if you continue to dabble in compromise and delay what I've made urgent, then I must release you to the consequences your free will permits. Not as punishment, as permission. And I say that with tears, not threats. Because even if you fall, I will wait. Even if you wander, I will pursue. But oh, child, how much I want to spare you the detour. How much I long to walk you the straight way, the swift way, the safe way. My protection has surrounded you for years, but it must now be partnered with your choice. Heaven's covering is strongest when it aligns with human surrender. Choose me now. Choose me fully. I'm still here, but this might be the last time I whisper before I watch. And I do not want to watch you hurt when you were born to walk healed. My beloved, do not return to what once tried to kill your calling. You cannot keep walking backward while begging me to move you forward. There are habits, relationships, and environments that I pulled you out of, not to punish you, but to preserve you. But I see it. The longing, the nostalgia, the creeping comfort of the familiar. I see how you sometimes reach for what I already removed. But child, what I removed for a reason. Some people carry poison in their presence. Some habits carry hooks in their rhythm. Some places still echo with the sound of who you used to be. And if you return there, emotionally, spiritually, relationally, you are not just revisiting history. You are reactivating bondage. There is no such thing as a harmless return to what I've called you out of. This isn't about shame. This is about spiritual safety. There is a version of you that cannot survive where I'm calling you. And yet, you still flirt with familiarity as if it will flirt back with destruction. You see, you're not who you were. That's why going back hurts more now. That's why it drains you quicker. That's why the old patterns don't soothe you anymore. You've outgrown the cages that once fit your brokenness. You've evolved. You've matured. and returning would be regression dressed as rest. Don't let the enemy repackage your past in a prettier box. Don't let temporary loneliness talk you back into toxic connections. Don't let emotional exhaustion make you call spiritual compromise a season. No, child. What I delivered you from, I meant to deliver you from forever. Do not rebuild what I demolished. Don't resurrect what I helped you bury. If you go back now, it will cost you more than it did the first time. Because now you know better. Now you've seen freedom. Now you've tasted peace. And to trade it all for an illusion of safety will leave you emptier than you've ever been. This is not just a warning. This is a rescue. I'm pulling your heart away from the edge again. Please, don't lean over it. Let me show you what's really happening. Every time you revisit old patterns, you reopen old wounds. Every time you message that person I removed, you reattach your spirit to someone I've already unyoked you from. Every time you entertain thoughts of just one more time, you give hell a foothold in a place I meant to make holy. And I cannot bless what you insist on breaking. I cannot anoint what you keep polluting. My protection surrounds you, but I will not override your repeated return to the very battles I already won for you. Don't make your testimony your temptation. Don't romanticize a past that nearly ruined your future. That relationship, it was never rooted in my design. A habit, it numbed your calling. That environment, it buried your voice under shame and performance. I rescued you. And now I'm reminding you, don't go back. You're on holy ground now. Keep walking. This is the hour of severance, of holy distance, of sacred separation, not out of superiority but out of survival. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your escape. You don't owe your old patterns a farewell party. Sometimes the holiest move is silent separation. I will handle what needs to be said. I will defend your decision in the spirit realm. I will be your strength when the pull is real. But you must hold the line. The cost of return is too high. I've shown you glimpses of where I'm taking you. The open doors, the divine connections, the supernatural favor. But you cannot enter a new room dragging old chains. You must drop them at the threshold and walk forward, eyes fixed, heart clean, hands open. Child, the war for your destiny doesn't always come with swords. Sometimes it comes in the quiet temptations to settle. But I am your shield, and I am your voice in this moment, saying, do not settle. Do not turn around. I am not behind you. I am ahead of you. Keep moving, and you will find me waiting where I always intended you to be. My child, you have been wondering why the pressure has increased, why the attacks have become relentless, why the warfare feels personal, constant, even cruel. Let me show you what's happening in the spirit realm. Hell is panicking. The enemy has seen the shift in your atmosphere. He's heard the stirrings of heaven's announcements over your life. He senses the surge of glory coming your way. And he is doing everything in his limited, desperate power to stop you before you cross into it. The intensity isn't random, it's reactive. The enemy is reacting to your rising. He's seen your prayers pierce the ceiling. He's watched your worship break through old walls. He's heard your spirit cry, yes, Lord, even now. And that sound, that unshaken sound of obedience, it terrifies him. So he's increased the pressure. He's stirred up confusion. He's whispered lies. He's even tried to reintroduce your old weaknesses with new disguises. But listen to me carefully. When hell turns up the heat, it's because heaven has turned the page. You are standing on the threshold of breakthrough, of real, irreversible, undeniable transformation. And the enemy knows it. That's why he's attacking not just your circumstances, but your identity. He doesn't just want to delay your promotion. He wants to make you doubt your position. He wants you questioning your worth, questioning your authority, questioning if any of it was real. But child, the very fact that you're under this kind of fire is proof that it's all real, that you are that called, that you are that close. You don't get hit like this when nothing's coming. You don't get tested like this unless the transition is near. This is not failure. This is final resistance before fulfillment. The enemy always overplays his hand before he loses. And right now, he's scrambling because you've survived what was meant to silence you. You're still here. Still seeking. Still hungry. Still believing. And I am using this fire not to destroy you, but to forge you. This battle is your birthing ground. Your breakthrough is not being blocked, it's being built. So let's expose the enemy for what he is, a liar with limited time and broken weapons. Yet he roars. Yes, he tempts. Yes, he schemes. But he is not sovereign. I am. He is not in control. I am. And I am telling you now, do not let the presence of warfare make you forget the promise of why the war came. You are dangerous to darkness. You are disrupting generational curses. You are dismantling agreements your bloodline made with bondage. You are standing in authority in ways your past self would never believe. And hell hates it. So he's firing everything he has: distraction, discouragement, delay. But none of it will work if you don't let it. This moment isn't about escaping the fire. It's about enduring it without bowing. Because when you pass through this flame with your faith intact, there's promotion on the other side that cannot be reversed. Listen to me. You're almost there. Don't misinterpret the pressure. Don't mistake the fire for failure. Don't mislabel this season as punishment when it's actually positioning. I am refining your discernment, sharpening your senses, teaching you to worship in the war, not just after it. This is what it means to ring with me, to stand when it hurts, to declare when it's dark, to walk when it's lull. And you're doing it. Even in weakness, you're doing it. Even in tears, you're walking. And every step is shaking hell. So don't stop now. Don't lay down now. The enemy sees what's coming, but he can't stop it unless you quit. And you won't quit. Because you were born for this. You were built for this. You were chosen for this. And your breakthrough, it's already breaking in. My child, the weight of this moment cannot be overstated. You are standing in what the Spirit calls a defining hour, a window where decisions carry more weight, where obedience must be immediate, and where delay is no longer an option without consequence. I say this not to frighten you, but to awaken you, because I love you too much to let you wander through this moment unaware. You've been here before, and thresholds, at divine intersections, and in times past, fear whispered louder than faith. Confusion clouded your clarity, and even though I was present, you hesitated. You paused when you were supposed to proceed. You lingered in places you were meant to leave. And because of that, there were delays, not in my plan, but in your experience of it. And now I've brought you back, not to shame you, but to give you another chance. But hear me, this chance carries urgency. What you decide next will ripple through more than just this season. It will affect the structure of your future. There is a reason you feel the weight in your chest, the trembling in your soul, the restlessness that won't let you settle. It's because your spirit knows the stakes are high. Your inner man is bearing witness to the gravity of this moment. This isn't just about changing your schedule. This is about shifting your destiny. You prayed for breakthrough, begged for clarity, cried for peace, and I've heard every word. But now I must be direct. Breakthrough is waiting, but it won't override indecision. Clarity is present, but it won't help if you ignore it. Peace is here, but it won't protect if you walk away from it. My child, you cannot treat this divine decision like just another option. This isn't a suggestion from heaven. This is a summons. The next steps you take, relationally, spiritually, emotionally, will determine whether you finally step into the fullness I've been preparing or circle the mountain once more. You've asked me many times, Lord, when will it be my time? And I have whispered back, when you're ready to decide. This is that moment. This is where your obedience will either unlock acceleration or allow another cycle. And listen to me. I don't want cycles for you. I want momentum. I want flight. I want forward. But momentum requires movement. And movement requires decision. You cannot keep standing in the doorway, peeking at what I've promised, while still holding the hand of what I told you to release. That divided posture is what's been draining you. A hesitancy is what's been haunting you. Every time you almost obey, almost trust, almost surrender, you delay destiny. My grace covers much, but grace is not a substitute for obedience. I will always love you, but love doesn't exempt you from the laws of spiritual momentum. Decisions determine direction, and direction determines destiny. Right now, child, your destiny is waiting for a decision. And let me tell you what I see from my eternal vantage point. I see a version of your life where you decide now, where you cut ties with compromise, where you step with boldness into the unfamiliar, where you say, yes, God, even though it costs me. And when you do, I see doors flinging open. I see alignment snapping into place. I see strength returning to your spirit and joy flooding into places that have felt numb for years. But I also see what happens if you delay, not as a punishment but as a consequence. I see extended seasons of confusion. I see repeated patterns. I see you watching others walk into what you were also called to but didn't choose. And child, that is not what I want for you. That is not what I died to give you. I want your full yes. Now, not because I'm angry, but because I'm ready. Ready to release. Ready to pour out. Ready to partner with your obedience and catapult you into the places you've only seen in glimpses. But I will not override your indecision. The next move is yours. And I'm waiting not at a distance, but right beside you, whispering, choose. Trust. Oh, I'm with you. But I won't drag you. The moment is here, and it matters more than you know. My child, you still don't see how large you are in the spirit. You still look at yourself through the lens of limitation, through the mirror of your mistakes, your history, your insecurity. But I, the God who formed galaxies, am telling you now, you are not small, not in destiny, not in purpose, not in spiritual authority. You have been walking through these fire-forged seasons not because you are weak, but because you are called to carry something vast, something eternal. You were never meant for shallow waters. That's why shallow friendships drained you. That's why surface-level spirituality bored you. That's why ordinary never fit your soul. You've been built for depth, designed for impact, formed in the womb of warfare because the awe you carry isn't cheap. What you survived wasn't random. It was shaping the shoulders that will carry the glory. And though you felt broken, invisible, overlooked, I have seen you and I've been preparing you for more than just survival. I've been preparing you for spiritual influence that shifts atmospheres, You carry nations in your prayers, generations in your surrender. You were never just meant to make it. You were meant to make room for others to step into their destinies. That's why your warfare's been generational. That's why your heart has felt the heaviness of assignments bigger than your experience. I put that weight in you. I place that fire in your belly that won't let you settle. Because I made you to be a voice, one that shatters lies, wakens sleepers, and carries heaven's language into the darkest rooms. That's why hell hath been strategic. That's why the attacks came early and often. Because if you ever realized who you really were in me, every lie would lose its power instantly. And that's what's happening now. You are awakening. You are remembering. You are rising. Slowly at first, but steadily. And with every breath, you're stepping further into the reality of who I made you to be. Don't downplay yourself. Don't shrink to keep others comfortable. Don't silence your roar because people prefer a whisper. You were born for magnitude, and it's time you own it. Let me speak to the fears that have crept in with that magnitude. I know it feels heavy. I know sometimes you question, God, am I really built for this? The answer is yes. Not because you're strong in yourself, but because I built you with divine durability. I did not make you fragile. I made you formidable. That's why even when you bent, you didn't break. That's why even when you cried, you kept moving. That's why even when your mind wanted to quit, your spirit whispered, just one more step. Because I designed you with a resilience that confounds the enemy. And now I am expanding your awareness of who you are. Not just for identity's sake, but for impact's sake. Because you're not called to merely shine in your own life. You're called to light torches for others. To speak truth with power. To stand in rooms where fear once ruled and change the temperature just by walking in. I've made you to be a spiritual architect, a reformer. Not famous for the world's sake, but faithful for heaven's sake. So stand tall, child. With tears in your eyes if you must, but with fire in your bones. The mantle is real. The anointing is real. The call is real. And the world needs what you carry. Don't let insecurity mute what heaven has marked. Don't let delay convince you that you missed it. You haven't. In fact, you're right on time. Every detour has become part of the design. Every delay has deepened your oil. Every heartbreak has softened your voice so it speaks with power and compassion. You are not a mistake. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are chosen, grafted, a million. And this very moment, is when you begin to walk in it, not with fear, but with reverence. Not with ego, but with awareness. The world may not recognize it yet, but hell already does, and heaven already has. You are not small. You are mine, and that makes you limitless. My child, listen closely now, because I need to tell you something you've been asking for but not fully understanding. I have already released it. Yes, the answer. The pavilion. A solution. The breakthrough. The very thing you've been crying for in the night, whispering for under your breath, fasting for when no one knew. It is already done in the spirit. Heaven has moved. Angels have been dispatched. Doors have been opened. But here's what I need you to understand. Manifestation on earth requires agreement in the natural. You cannot keep praying for something to arrive while your life is positioned in opposition to what you're asking for. I do not withhold, but I do wait. Wait for alignment. Wait for trust. Wait for the heart posture that can hold the very thing I've already released. You are not waiting on me nearly as much as I am waiting on you to move in sync with what I've set in motion. Let me show you how this works. When I send rain, the field must be ready to receive it. Otherwise, it runs off, wasted. When I pour out favor, your hands must be empty enough to catch it. When I bring answers, your heart must be quiet enough to recognize them. Child, I don't operate according to your calendar. I operate according to your capacity. And right now, your answer is hovering, waiting for you to adjust, waiting for you to obey that nudge, to release that idol, to clear that schedule, to forgive that person, to take the step you keep saying is too soon. You're not waiting for a miracle. You're waiting to match the miracle that's already in motion. And that's why I'm speaking so clearly now. Because the delay you feel isn't denial. It's a divine checkpoint. I want to bless you. I've already started. But I will pour oil into a cup that's still full of compromise. I won't send weight to shoulders still tangled in disobedience. That would not be love. That would be sabotage. Let me bring it even closer. Some of the things you've called delays were actually protections. I knew what was waiting on the other side of that door you kept begging me to open. I knew the timing, the warfare, the readiness it required. That's why I didn't say no. I said not yet. But child, now the atmosphere has shifted. The answer is not in question anymore. It's in activation mode. But it requires you to match it. What you tolerate right now is determining what you're able to receive. Your internal agreement, what you say yes to, what you let linger, what you keep excusing, all of it is either pulling you into divine alignment or pulling you out of it. I'm not here to play games with your destiny, and neither should you. Because what I'm bringing isn't light. It's weighty. What I'm releasing isn't just for you. It's for generations. And that's why I'm demanding alignment. Not for control, but for capacity. You say you want it. The favor, the clarity, the breakthrough. But I ask you now, are you ready to live at the level of what you're praying for? Are your habits aligned? Your mindset? Your boundaries? Your circle? Because I will not allow a partial life to mishandle a full blessing. I am not teasing you. I am training you. Because this next release will be costly, in glory, in responsibility, in visibility. And I don't want it to crush you. That's why I'm pausing you here and saying, adjust. Shift. Get in position. You're closer than you think, not just to a blessing, but to a birthing. You're not praying for something to come down from heaven. You're praying for the courage to rise into the level where it's already waiting. And I will give you that courage. I will give you that grace. But you must decide. Are you willing to live the life that can hold what you've asked me to send? The answer is already here. I'm just waiting for you to step into the place where heaven and earth finally collide. Through you. Oh, my precious child, let me talk to you about your tears. The ones no one saw. The ones you wiped quickly before anyone could notice. The ones that fell not just from your eyes, but from the deepest, most aching parts of your soul. Yes, those. I saw them all. I counted them like pearls. I held them like prayers. I collected every one of them in the bottle of remembrance I keep for the broken-hearted. Because with me, tears are not weakness. They are seeds. And while the world moves on, while others forget, I, your Father, have been turning your tears into a harvest. Every tear was heard. Every whisper of God, I can't do this anymore, was recorded in the archives of heaven. And I was not absent. I was bending low, holding you even as you shook, weeping with you even as I prepared your reward. And now, I'm here to tell you, the harvest is near. The tears were not in vain. They watered something deep in your spirit. And now, the roots are breaking through the ground. You're about to see what your pain was producing. Let me be clear. I did not waste your suffering, and I will not let it end in silence. You've walked through dark nights, thinking, did anything change because of this? Did any of this matter? Yes, and child, it mattered more than you know. You didn't just cry. You contended. You didn't just survive. You sowed. Every midnight tear was a drop of obedience. Every moment you stayed when it hurt, it was a seed. Every act of quiet faithfulness, every yes when no one was watching, it was sowing into a future so rich, so divine, that even hell couldn't stop it. You're closer now than ever before. The soil is breaking. The sprouts are pushing through. And I, the Lord of the harvest, am stepping onto the field of your faithfulness to say, now, it's time. It's growing. Get ready to reap what your tears were sowing. You didn't just endure, you plowed. And I never forgot. There were moments when you cried and said, God, I don't see anything changing. But child, the seed grows in silence. The roots stretch before the fruit appears. And what I've been doing inside you during those painful seasons was far deeper than you could see. I was fortifying your identity. I was anchoring your trust. I was growing fruit that lasts. And now, you are entering a season where the invisible becomes visible, where the hidden pain produces public glory. But not for vanity, for vindication. Not for your ego, for my name's sake. I'm about to show others what I saw all along. I'm about to lift the curtain on the quiet faithfulness you gave when no one clapped. I'm about to reward the trust that you showed when everything around you was crumbling. I'm about to honor your tears. Not because you earned it, but because you endured. You didn't grow bitter. You didn't turn away. You waited. And now, I'm fulfilling my word over you. So don't hold back your hope anymore. Let it rise. Let expectation return. Let the barren places inside you start to believe again. Because I'm not just bringing breakthrough. I'm bringing beauty out of the ashes. I'm not just answering prayers. I'm redeeming the years. The years you thought were wasted. The nights that felt endless. The seasons that felt silent. I'm restoring them. Every tear that hit the ground has declared a season shift. And you, child, are the one who will walk into it first. I'm not late. I've just been preparing the kind of harvest that requires wait. The kind that feeds others. The kind that carries legacy. So wipe your eyes now. Not in sorrow. In strength. The tears have done their work. And now, it's time to see what they've grown. My beloved child, I must speak now with holy authority. Because you have allowed too many voices to write on the walls of your identity. You have let too many opinions echo louder than my truth. And I cannot allow that anymore. Not in this hour. Not in this season. What I placed inside you is too sacred to be shaped by the words of the wounded. Too powerful to be crushed under the weight of false perceptions. You have listened long enough to voices that do not know you, voices that speak from their own pain, their own fear, their own limitations. But they did not form you. They did not breathe life into you. They did not hold your frame in the secret place. I did. So now I come, not just to speak, but to silence every other voice that has tried to name you. Every label you picked up in childhood. Every lie whispered in relationships. Every identity shaped by trauma. I'm tearing it all down now. Because only one voice gets to define you. Mine. Listen to me, you are not what they said when they were angry. You are not the version of you that failed. You are not the echo of your mistakes. You are not the sum of your past. You are not the one who is always too much or not enough. You are mine. And when I look at you, I do not see someone barely surviving. I see a vessel of fire, a carrier of glory, a temple of my spirit. I see someone formed with intention, called with purpose, crowned with my name. And that identity, the one I authored, is the only one that matters. But you must choose now whose voice you will believe. Because as long as you let broken voices shape your view of yourself, you will never walk in the authority I've already placed on your life. There is a war over your identity, not because you're weak, but because you're powerful. And the enemy knows if you ever believe what I say about you, nothing could stop you. So let this be the day you shut every other voice down. Let this be the day you say, God, only you get to name me. You see, child, when I speak identity, I don't speak from opinion. I speak from origin. I don't guess who you are. I declare it because I made you. I know the blueprint. I know the brilliance. I know the battles you were born to win. I know the authority that's written into your voice. And that's why I'm saying this now with such holy clarity. You cannot afford to let another voice hold the pen to your purpose. No more agreeing with labels spoken in anger. No more rehearsing shame-filled scripts in your mind. No more shrinking when I've called you to shine. I am rewriting the script. I am restoring the sound of your inner dialogue. And I am anchoring your identity in the unshakable foundation of who I say you are. When I call you loved, it is not conditional. When I call you chosen, it is not revoked. When I call you righteous, it is not based on performance. My identity for you is sealed in blood, the blood of my Son, and nothing can undo what I've declared over you in eternity. But here is where your part begins. You must actively reject every voice that does not sound like me. That includes the internal critic. That includes the replayed wounds. That includes the generational lies. You must shut the door to them, even if they feel familiar. Especially when they feel familiar. Because some lies are so old they feel like truth. But they are not truth. They are strongholds. And I am tearing them down now. I am putting a sword in your hand and truth in your mouth. I am giving you language to fight back with. I am who God says I am. Say it until the chains break. Declare it until the fog clears. Whisper it until it becomes your reality. My voice will never lead you to shame. My voice will never strip you of worth. My voice will always call you higher, with conviction, with clarity, with compassion. And from this moment on, that voice, my voice, is the only one that gets to define you. Let all others be silence. Let my truth rise in you like fire. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not beyond redemption. You are mine, and that is your identity forever. Child, I know how much time you feel you've lost. I know how many days you've stared at the past like a broken mirror, trying to piece together what went wrong. I've watched you calculate the years, count the missed moments, measure the delay. And I want to tell you now, as your father, I see it. I felt it. But I am not bound by it. I do not live in time. I rule over it. I can stretch it, redeem it, restore it. But first, you must stop mourning what you can't change. I say that with love, not rebuke. Because mourning becomes bondage when it keeps you from moving. Here's a holy place for weeping. I welcome it. I hold you when you cry. But when grief becomes your address instead of a passing station, it turns into a stronghold. And I did not build you to live in regret. I built you to rise in redemption. So now I come with divine clarity to say, the time you thought was wasted can still become harvest, if you move forward with me now. Let me speak plainly. I know you wish you could go back and choose differently. I know you replay conversations, decisions, detours, hoping to rewrite what's already sealed. But, child, that's not your assignment anymore. Your calling is not in reverse. Your purpose is not behind you. It's ahead. And if you will stop staring into the rearview mirror of your life, I will begin restoring in ways that will leave you breathless. I can multiply what's left. I can expedite what's delayed. I can resurrect dreams that look long dead. I am the God of suddenly, the God of restoration, the God of even now. But I cannot restore what you will release. If you keep mourning the time lost, you'll miss the time that's being offered. Let it go. The should-haves, the what-ifs, the self-blame, the if only I had. None of that holds power anymore, unless you keep giving it permission. I have better for you, and I want to redeem what you thought was unrecoverable. But I need you to stop camping at the grave of a past that no longer serves you. You ask me, Lord, can you really restore this much? And my answer is yes. Not only can I want to. I specialize in what feels impossible. I am the one who turned a thief on a cross into a citizen of heaven in one sentence. The one who restored Peter after he denied me 3 times. The one who gave Abraham and Sarah a promise after their bodies said it was too late. Child, I don't consult clocks. I create time. I know how to stretch what's left. I know how to fold years into moments. I know how to position you for acceleration that will make others say, how did this happen so fast? But hear me clearly. The speed is waiting for your surrender. I will not drag you. I will not override your mourning. But if you will rise, even limping, even scared, and say, God, I am ready to move again, I will meet you with wind at your back. I will make up the time. I will breathe life into what's still buried. I will crown your too late with right on time. So get up now. Wipe the tears, not in denial, but in declaration. You've grieved long enough. Now it's time to grow. It's time to go. It's time to walk with me into the part of your story that still holds glory. The part where you don't just survive, you soar. The part where everything the enemy stole becomes the very fuel that drives you into purpose. I am not done with you. I never was. But I can only restore what you place in my hands. So give me the time. Give me the regret. Give me the story you wish looked different, and I will redeem it. You will see joy again. You'll see clarity again. You'll see miracles in places that once held mourning. Because I'm the God who not only moves mountains, I restores years. And your time has come. My beloved child, I need you to hear me with the depth of your spirit, not just the surface of your feelings. You have stood at the threshold of who I created you to be, but fear has kept you from stepping through. Fear, with its heavy whispering, has tried to convince you that you are not enough, not ready, not prepared. Yet that very fear has been a signpost of your calling. You sense something more within you because there is something more within you. What you felt as hesitation is not lack of courage. It's the enemy's last attempt to blind you to your own destiny. You have been shaped by trials, tempered by trials, taught through trials, all for the purpose of splitting you from the old and placing you in the new. But you've held back. You've lingered in places where I told you to leave. You've questioned when I told you to trust. You've retreated when I told you to advance. And each time, fear insinuated itself as logic, as comfort, as reason. But child, my voice does not sing in whispers of trepidation. My voice roars with truth and clarity. Listen carefully. The identity I am calling you into is not for the fearful, it is for the bold. Not the comfortable, not the cautious, but the one who dares to live beyond the limitations of their past and step into the wonder of what I have prepared. You've walked through fear many times and felt that your endurance was your victory. But endurance is only the threshold, not the destination. Now I am calling you beyond endurance, beyond survival, beyond the safe rhythms of the familiar. The identity I am unveiling to you is not defined by your past wounds, your mistakes, or the small measure you once believed was all you could carry. No, I made you for vastness. I fashioned you for impact. I breathed eternity into your design. And the fear that has chased you all these years was the unsettling spirit of the enemy trying to keep you in a place too small for your God-given capacity. Fear is a liar. It is a thief. It steals destiny, dims vision, and disguises itself as wisdom when it is nothing but a shadow of what I created you to be. But hear me now. I am not calling you into a higher identity because I need you. I am calling you into it because you were always meant for it. Your current identity is not a mistake or a detour. It has been preparation. Every tear you have shed, every prayer you whispered in the dark, every moment you felt unseen or overlooked, those were the refining fires shaping you into someone who could carry what I will trust you with next. You are not being rejected. You are being promoted. The old version of yourself, constrained by fear, by insecurity, by hesitation, that version cannot walk into what I have prepared. Not because it isn't loved, but because it has served its purpose. It carried you through the wilderness. It brought you out of the valley. But now I need the new you, the one who has been forged through fire, watered through waiting, and is now ready to step forward even when the ground feels uncertain. The identity I am calling you into is not fragile. It is formidable. It is not tentative. It is tenacious. It is not bound by fear. It is empowered by my spirit. And my child, let me reveal to you the subtle deception that has held you back. Fear never approaches with a roar. It approaches with a whisper. A whisper that says, maybe you should wait. Maybe this isn't the right time. Maybe you're not ready. But my voice does not whisper uncertainty. My voice declares destiny. My voice calls you by name. My voice says, move forward. And every time my spirit spoke to you with direction, fear responded with distraction. Every time I told you advance, fear replied with later. God's timing is now. The enemy's timing is delay. They are polar opposites. And when you find yourself hesitating in the tension between the two, you must choose, not with your emotion, but with your spirit. Because the identity you are reaching for requires decision, decisiveness, courage, a resolve that says, I belong to the one who calls me higher. Child, you have been practicing small faith for too long. You have repeated familiar prayers, repeated familiar habits, repeated familiar cycles of mere obedience. But now I am calling you to radical obedience. You say you want more of me, but the person you must leave behind is still clinging to the familiar. The person you were yesterday cannot carry the calling of tomorrow. This is why fear has felt so loud. It is the enemy's final resistance. It is his last stand. He knows that if you step into the identity I am calling you into, your life will become a testimony that others cannot ignore. Your joy will become a proclamation. Your breakthrough will be written as a warning to fear itself. And so he rallies everything he has left to whisper in your ear. But my child, I tell you with divine authority, do not return to the small version of yourself. Do not look back at the shadows you walked through. Do not let hesitation outshout your hope. Step forward into the identity I am assigning you, bold, courageous, unstoppable. And I will be with you every step of the way. You will not walk through this new identity alone. My presence will go before you. My strength will uphold you. My voice will steady you when your humanity feels weak. But you must choose me. Not halfway, not temporarily, not when it feels easy, but fully, relentlessly, without reservation. The identity I am calling you into is magnificent. It was written in eternity before you were born. It was sealed with my love, and it is now being revealed to your spirit. So do not shrink back. Do not cling to fear. Do not stand at the edge of your calling, peeking instead of stepping. Step forward, beloved. Step into who I have always intended you to be. You were created for this moment, for this breakthrough, for this identity. Yes, you are ready, because I made you ready. You've heard me say it clearly. The wind is rising, the pace is shifting, and delay is no longer an option. But acceleration isn't just for you. It's for those waiting behind you, waiting for this exact word to reach them. And I'm asking you to become a river, not a reservoir. Your giving becomes momentum, your seed becomes fuel, your obedience becomes an answer to someone else's cry. Just as I promised in Malachi 3:10, bring the whole tithe into the storehouse and see if I will not open the windows of heaven over you. That window is open now. Give, through super thanks, through membership, through the river I've placed in your hand. This is my invitation, not just theirs. Move now. Release what I gave you, and I'll multiply it beyond measure. My beloved child, I need you to hear me with a clarity that transcends familiarity. Not everyone who smiles with you is aligned with your destiny. Not every voice you hear close to your ear is speaking truth. Not every hand that reaches out to help you is sent from heaven. There are people in your life right now, perhaps ones you have known for years, who are spiritually dangerous. Not because they are evil, but because they are not anchored in the calling I have placed upon your life. They carry battles you are not meant to fight. They speak narratives that contradict my voice. They drain your spirit while pretending to care for your heart. This is not condemnation. This is revelation. I am not calling you unkind. I am not calling you callous. I am calling you wise. There comes a moment when love must be balanced with discernment. And that moment is now. Listen to me. Some people are there to season you, but not to stay with you. Some relationships were bridges, but not the destination. Some souls are aligned with your past, but not your future. You have felt the heaviness around certain conversations, the sinking, the confusion, the exhaustion after being with them. That is not coincidence. That is spiritual resistance. I have allowed you to sense it because your spirit knows what your mind has tried to ignore. Your spirit recognizes dissonance even when your heart wants harmony. And that is why this message is urgent, because you are entering a season of alignment where every connection in your life must reflect my voice. Not jealousy, not insecurity, not convenience, not nostalgia. Alignment with me looks like peace, clarity, and acceleration. Anything less is interference. Some people speak encouragement with voices dipped in fear. They say be careful, but not because they are protecting you, because they fear your growth. Some people offer advice but do not pray for you. Some people lift their own burdens by convincing you to carry yours. Some people claim to love you, but they mirror the enemy's agenda instead of mine. You have tolerated these connections because you have compassion, and that is good. But compassion without discernment becomes detachment from truth. I am not asking you to be heartless. I am asking you to be heartened by what aligns with me and healed from what does not. Because if you bring spiritually draining people into your future, people who feed on fear, negativity, or limitation, then you will sabotage what I have ordained. You know this. You have felt your spirit shrink instead of expand after certain interactions. That was not imagination. That was instinct. Spiritually dangerous relationships do not lift you. They weigh you. And you cannot rise when you are being weighed down. Listen, my child, and let me give you divine clarity on how to distinguish people who are spiritually draining from those who are spiritually strengthening. Those aligned with me will speak truth that sets you free. They will not whisper fear. They will not feed doubt. They will not press their own insecurities into your identity. They will celebrate your victories, even when they feel small. They will mourn your losses, even when they are silent. They will pray with you, not just about you. They will reflect my heart, not their own agenda. Spiritually dangerous people do not have to be evil. They only have to be misaligned. Misaligned with me. Misaligned with my voice. Misaligned with the future I have written for you. Some people are beautiful in person, but toxic in spirit. Some people are familiar but not faithful. Some people are connected by memory, not destiny. And I know this truth may hurt, because you love deeply, and you value connection. But love does not equal alignment. You can care for someone and still be called to walk away. You can pray for them without inviting them into your destiny. You can bless them without carrying their burdens. This season is about discernment, not detachment from love. My spirit will draw you toward people who amplify your calling and away from people who dilute your identity. And because I am speaking this to you now, I need you to respond with holy caution and holy confidence. Do not second-guess the peace you feel when aligned with my voice. Do not return to relationships that have left you drained, confused, or spiritually unsettled. Some doors I have closed in your life were not punishments. They were protective measures. You did not lose people. You escaped influence that would have compromised your calling. But hear me, beloved. This is not a call to isolation. This is a call to holy alignment. There are people ahead of you, not behind you. There are voices with prophetic resonance, not voices of criticism and limitation. There are friendships rooted in prayer, not in pressure. Seek them. Cherish them. Walk with them. But do not allow familiarity to trump divine alignment. Your life's direction depends on who walks with you, not just who walks beside you. Spiritually draining relationships will distract, discourage, and depower you. Spiritually aligned people will strengthen, confirm, and accelerate you. Let this be a season where my voice alone defines who you keep close. Not fear, not nostalgia, not obligation. My voice. Let that be your compass. And as you obey this portion of my guidance, you will find peace expanding where confusion once ruled, clarity blooming where heaviness once weighed, and destiny rising where delay once lingered. My child, listen carefully, because what I am about to reveal is not something to take lightly. You are on the edge of sudden acceleration. A moment is approaching where things will begin to move rapidly. Shifts will unfold. Doors will open. Alignments will snap into place, not slowly, but swiftly. This next season will not resemble the one you've just walked through. The dryness, the waiting, the long nights of silence, they've all been preparation. Every slow season was tilling the soil. But now, the rain is coming. The shift is coming. The divine wind is rising. But, beloved, acceleration is only glorious if your heart is anchored. Otherwise, it becomes chaos. That's why I must speak this with urgency. Do not sabotage what I am bringing with doubt and double-mindedness. The pace is about to increase, and you must decide now what posture you will carry into that pace. Doubt is not just a passing emotion. Doubt, when tolerated, becomes a thief. It robs you of clarity. It muddies the voice of the Spirit. It makes your yes unstable and your no uncertain. And when acceleration hits, doubt will try to slow you down, not by external resistance, but by internal confusion. That's why I'm warning you now, ahead of time, because I want you to receive fully what I'm about to release. I want you to walk in it boldly, not question it from the sidelines. But the enemy will try to twist the suddenness of my move into fear. He'll whisper, "This is too fast. You're not ready. This can't be from God." He'll try to use your cautious nature against you. But I say to you now, I am the God of suddenly. I am the one who parted seas without warning, who sent fire without a forecast, who raised the dead without ceremony. I do not need your understanding to release my miracles. I need your agreement. And I know what you're thinking. But what if it's not real? What if I did it wrong? What if I misstep? Child, that fear has been planted by the one who knows exactly how dangerous your faith is when it's focused. He doesn't fear your gifts, he fears your clarity. Because when you stop second-guessing and start walking with spiritual precision, you become unstoppable. So let me settle this now. The acceleration that's coming, it's real. It's me. It's not a fluke. It's not a mistake. It's not a trap. I've tested you in secret so I could trust you in public. I've trained you in silence so I could position you for a shift that others won't understand. And that's okay. They don't have to. You don't need their permission to obey me. You don't need a second opinion on my voice. What you need is a heart fully convinced that I am with you in the movement, as much as I was with you in the waiting. So guard your mind now. Prepare your spirit. Feed your faith. The same way a runner stretches before the race, stretch your obedience before the shift. That means clearing out distractions. It means silencing internal debates. That means declaring truth over your mind before the doubt even arrives. You are about to see prayers answered that you forgot you prayed. Opportunities are going to find you that your resume couldn't explain. Connections will come that only I could arrange. But if you question it, if you hesitate, if you dilute the miracle with overthinking, you'll miss the fullness of what I'm pouring out. And child, I don't want you to miss it. I don't want you to watch what I intended for you pass by because fear disguised itself as wisdom. This is the moment you must say, God, even if I don't feel ready, I trust that you are. And I will meet that faith with open doors. The pace is changing. The rhythm is shifting. The wind is rising. Don't doubt the wave who ride it. And I will carry you where your feet never could. My precious one, what I am about to say will strike something deep within your spirit, because it has been echoing there your whole life, even when you couldn't name it. You have been marked with a generational assignment. Yes, you are not just another person in your family. You are a breaker of patterns, a disruptor of cycles, a carrier of promises that others before you could only glimpse, but never touch. That is why the battle has been so fierce. That is why the warfare has felt abnormal, relentless. Because hell recognizes you before you recognize yourself. The enemy saw the oil on your life, the calling on your name, the ripple you would cause in your bloodline, and he tried to silence you before you could speak. But he failed. Because I chose you, not as a consolation prize, as a covenant carrier. You are the one who will walk into rooms your ancestors only dreamed of. You are the one who will say no more to generational fear, addiction, silence, poverty, shame, and secrecy. You felt it, haven't you? That weight, that quiet knowing, that feeling that you were different, not better, but burdened in a way others weren't. While others in your family compromised, you felt the need to contend. While others avoided truth, you felt drawn to it, even when it hurt. That's not coincidence, that's calling. I placed you in that family, in that city, in that timeline for a reason. I knew what was in the bloodline. I knew the warfare. I knew the history. But I also knew that you were strong enough, in me, to confront what others refused to name. You are not the black sheep. You are the bloodline breaker. You are not the misfit. You are the mantle carrier. And I am going to use your life, your obedience, your healing, your surrender, to shift everything, not just for you, but for those who come after you. You are the Moses of your generation. And yes, it has cost you, but you are about to see why the price was worth it. Let me show you what you've been doing without even realizing it. Every time you broke silence and spoke truth, you tore down a generational wall. Every time you went to therapy, every time you confessed sin, every time you repented, forgave, released, you untangled generations of bondage. Every time you prayed, even when you felt weak, you plowed spiritual ground for children and grandchildren not yet born. You were interceding for bloodlines. You were planting seeds for legacy. That's why it felt heavier than what made sense. That's why your battle didn't match your age or your surroundings. Because you weren't fighting for one life, you were fighting for many. And now, I'm showing you what you've been carrying. Not to overwhelm you, to annoy you. You are not just called. You are commissioned. You are not just healing for your sake. You are healing for the sake of those who will never have to fight what you've already defeated. So walk in this with reverence, with boldness, with a new level of awareness. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be willing. You don't have to know all the answers. You just have to keep saying yes. I will guide you. I will teach you. I will shield you. And when the enemy tries to tell you, who do you think you are to carry this? Remind him, I'm the one God called when no one else would go. You are the generational remnant. You are the legacy builder. And the glory that's coming will not just sit on you. It will rest on your children's children. I'm doing something through you that will echo for decades. You are building altars where others built idols. You are creating blessings where others created burdens. You are restoring dignity to a name that was once covered in shame. And I am proud of you, more than you know. Now walk in it, with fire in your belly, peace in your soul, and legacy in your hands. You were born for this, and I have been with you every step of the way. My beloved, listen to me, for this is no ordinary word. This is a moment wrapped in mercy, a sacred opening, a divine intersection between heaven's timetable and your heart's readiness. Right now, a window of grace is open before you. It is not just favor, it is an invitation. I have extended a portion of my mercy, my protection, my access, and my clarity in a way that is unusual. Strategic. This window hath been carved by my own hands, not just for your blessing, but for your transformation. But hear me clearly, child. This window will not remain open forever. There is an expiration to divine opportunities, not because I grow impatient, but because Kairos moments of holy alignment, are never meant to be casually handled or endlessly delayed. You are standing in such a moment now, and I need you to see it for what it is, a doorway that requires a decision, a divine crossing point that demands your full response. You felt it, haven't you? The urgency, the tugging in your spirit, that sense that something is shifting, that what you do in this season holds weight beyond your comprehension. That's because it does. I am not playing games with your life. I am positioning you. You've asked me, Lord, when will things change? And I am telling you now, this is the hour. The change is in your hands. Not because you must earn it, but because you must embrace it. I've extended my hand. I've opened doors no men could open. I've cleared paths that once felt blocked, but I cannot force you through them. Grace is a gift, but it requires participation. And if you continue hesitating, if you treat this holy moment as optional, if you assume the window will always be there, you will miss what I intended to mark your life forever. I love you too much to remain silent while you risk forfeiting the divine. Let me speak plainly. This open window is about more than breakthrough. It's about becoming. What I'm offering you is not just provision. It's promotion into a higher version of who I created you to be. But it requires a clean break from your past, a severing of cycles, a final decision that says, I won't go back. Because this grace is here to move you forward, not to soothe your stagnation. It's here to elevate your life, not pacify your delay. That is why you feel the weight. That is why your spirit won't rest. Because I am inviting you to step into destiny, and every part of your old self knows it's being asked to die. The comfort, the excuses, the justifications, they can't come with you. Grace is calling you higher, and you must choose. My child, you don't need more signs. You don't need another confirmation. You need obedience, and you need it now. I am giving you one final word on this matter, not to threaten, but to awaken. The window is open, but not forever. There is an urgency in the spirit realm right now. I have assigned angels to escort you into this next phase. I have aligned circumstances to break open what once felt impenetrable. But if you linger too long at the edge, if you keep praying but never stepping, if you keep hearing but never acting, the window will close, and not because I stopped loving you, but because grace not acted upon becomes accountability. And I do not want you to live in regret. I want you to live in reward. I want you to look back and say, that was the moment everything changed. That was when I said yes. That was when I finally let go of fear and grabbed hold of the Father. Let this be that moment. Right now. Heaven's door is open. Your name is being whispered in divine rooms. The scroll of your destiny is unrolling. Do not delay. Do not wait. Walk through. And now, my child, we arrive at the final breath of this message. The last note in a divine song sung straight from my heart to yours. You have heard much. You have wept, trembled, wrestled. You have sat with me in silence and storm. But now I say this with gravity and tenderness. This may be the last time you ever hear me like this. Not because I am abandoning you. Never. But because this moment is sacred, and I do not repeat myself lightly. There are seasons when I shout, and there are seasons when I whisper. This has been a season of shouting from heaven, bold, clear, urgent. But if you do not respond, the volume will change. Not because I am angry, but because I do not scream forever. I do not force myself where I am repeatedly ignored. I do not continue where I am continually dismissed. My love never leaves, but my movement shifts. My fire fades to embers if you only watch it burn without stepping into it. There is a weight on these words because they are not ordinary. They were never meant to entertain, impress, or soothe you without transformation. These words are not spiritual fluff. They are eternal blueprints. You will remember them. You will feel them long after the page ends. Because I have placed them in your spirit as markers, crossroads of decision, altars of invitation. You are not standing in front of a suggestion. You are standing in front of a final call. If you ignore it, you will still be loved. You will still be mine. But you will be choosing a road marked by delay, confusion, and unnecessary wilderness. And that is not my desire for you. That is not my best. But I will never override your will. I gave you choice because love without choice is control, and I am not a God of control. I am a God of covenant. And this moment is my covenant reaching out one more time. So now, here you stand, with every word spoken, every secret exposed, every part of your destiny laid bare. The question is not, did God speak? You know I did. The question is, will you respond? Because I will not speak this way forever. The next time you hear me, the tone may be different. The season may have changed. The assignment may have shifted. This was a holy moment, crafted just for you. A divine download forged in the fire of my presence. And if you walk away unchanged, child, I will still love you. But something sacred will have been missed. Don't let this be another spiritual high that fades. Let it be the pivot point of your entire life. Let this moment haunt your disobedience and fuel your surrender. Let it carve itself into your memory as the day heaven cried out, and you answered, "Here I am, Lord. I'm ready." You don't need another message. You don't need another confirmation. This was the confirmation. This was the message. This was the voice behind the voice. And now, it is your turn to speak, not with words, but with obedience, with action, with holy movement. I have said all that needed to be said. I am pouring. I have waited. I have wrapped you in mercy. But I will not repeat this again. The next chapter depends on your response to this one. So take it seriously. Take it personally. Take it into your prayer closet and ask me to burn it into your bones. And then, live it. Because this might be the last time you ever hear me like this. Don't let it be in vain. Let it be the day everything change. I'm watching. I'm waiting. And I am ready to move, if you are. Child, you've just heard my final word for this moment. But there are others still waiting, still silent, still wandering, still one video away from meeting me face to face. Will you be the one to carry this word to them? Your seed is not a donation. It's a divine assignment. Your support is a torch. Your giving becomes the bridge between their despair and my voice. I have already said in Isaiah 55:11, my word will not return to me empty, but it will accomplish what I please. And you sow, you attach yourself to the power of that promise. Give now, through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal, not just because you feel moved, but because I am moving through you. Click now, and let the word you receive become the miracle someone else has been waiting for. Before you scroll away, I need you to do something prophetic. If you heard me in this message, if something inside you knows this might have been the last time I speak to you like this, then mark it. Declare it. Write in the comments right now, God, I heard you. I'm moving now. Let hell see your obedience. Let heaven witness your yes. This isn't just engagement. This is alignment. Your comment is your covenant, and I am watching who responds. And now, as your response echoes, feel the atmosphere soften and deepen at the same time, like a holy hush after a trumpet call. What you just declared is meeting a voice older than time itself. This is where your yes shifts from being heard by the unseen into being held by the eternal. Don't rush past this hinge, child, because the God who watches your obedience now draws you into a moment far bigger than urgency, a moment carved in eternity. My child, listen closely, for I speak to you in a time far greater than the ticking of your clock. I recognize the gravity of this moment, for time itself bends to my ultimate purpose. You feel the pressure, the speeding up of your days, and I want you to understand the reason. This hour is heavy with significance, a profound threshold you stand upon, and I have called you aside for this intimate conversation. Open your heart, my beloved, and receive the weight of this word, for it is one you must never forget. You often confuse my silence with my absence, but I tell you now, it is a profound preparation. Your spirit has been restless, questioning where I was in the chaos of your life, in the unanswered cries that echoed in the night. Know this, while you navigated the storm, my hand was steadfastly upholding you, guiding you, and perfecting a work deep within your soul that only silence could accomplish. I was forging your inner strength, sharpening your focus, and preparing you to receive the magnitude of what is coming. Let the stillness that follows my voice sink deep, transforming your fear into fierce conviction. Your trials have not been in vain. They were refining fires, building your endurance for the final days. Recognize that the fleeting nature of this world should intensely sharpen your spiritual focus. Look around you. The systems, the comforts, the very ground you stand on are temporary, destined to fade like the morning mist. You spend so much energy worrying about your job, the bills, and the opinions of others, things that will dissolve when my glory is revealed. I command you now, lift your gaze from the temporal distractions and fix your eyes on the eternal inheritance that awaits you. You must discern the signs of this age. They testify, with an unmistakable urgency, to the closing curtain of this chapter. You see the increase in turmoil, the breakdown of society, the relentless pressure on your faith, and the very air whispers of a conclusion. Stop pretending this reality will endure indefinitely. Embrace the urgent call to prioritize your eternal dwelling over the temporary comfort of this fleeting existence. You were never meant to settle here. Your true citizenship is in a city built by my own hand. Your deepest anxieties, that knot of worry in your stomach about providing and succeeding, are rooted in the illusion that this world is your final home. I will guide you and provide for you, but I urge you to release the crippling grip of this world's expectations. Know that the tremendous opportunity for profound and lasting change is now, before the final seal is broken and the door is shut. You have prayed for this breakthrough, for the courage to shed the chains of old habits and paralyzing fears. I heard every plea. I stand here, extending my hand, ready to infuse you with a dynamic, unwavering faith. Do not delay your surrender, my child. Do not let inertia keep you trapped. Look at your job pressures, your family tensions, and that feeling of being overlooked. I see the emotional and financial strain you carry. I promise you, I will handle the impossible burdens that weigh you down, but you must first lay them down at my feet. Your time is precious. Invest your remaining moments not in worry, but in fulfilling the grand, eternal purpose I have designed just for you. This is my command and my invitation. Rise up now, enter the profound work of this solemn hour, and walk with me towards the glorious destiny that cannot be taken from you. I love you deeply. My beloved, after recognizing the solemnity of this hour, your next step is the most vital, a final call to repentance. I see you, not just your outward actions, but the hidden terrain of your soul, the parts you keep locked away even from yourself. Now is the moment to lay bare every hidden fault and every unconfessed transgression before my searching light. Do not flinch from this necessary surgery, my child. I know the shame you carry, the guilt from past errors, and the quiet regret that needles you. Bring it all. Bring the bitterness you still harbor against the person who betrayed you at work. Bring the resentment over family tensions that still burns low in your heart. Bring the financial dishonesty you justified as just business. I am here to forgive, but you must first cease the pretense. You cling to the justifying arguments of the flesh, those little mental debates where you rationalize your compromise. Everyone else does it, or it wasn't that bad. I command you now to drop those heavy, brittle shields. Acknowledge your desperate need for cleansing. This isn't about perfection. It's about honesty. I know you are human, prone to mistakes and stumbling. But when you stop making excuses and simply say, "Father, I failed. I need you," that is when my power rushes in, washing you clean with my blood. Turn away, decisively, from the broad path of easy compromise and worldly acceptance. That path feels comfortable because it demands nothing of your spirit. No sacrifice, no conviction, no holy defiance. But it leads only to ruin. You are my chosen one, destined to walk a different road, one defined by truth and enduring righteousness. I call you to a higher standard, not to condemn you, but to consecrate you for the glorious work ahead. Seek that deep, heart-rending sorrow that leads to true, lasting amendment, the kind of grief that doesn't just feel bad, but fundamentally changes your direction. That sorrow is a gift, a sign that my spirit is still working within you, yearning to pull you back to the truth. Let your heart miss me. Let your spirit search for me. Surrender those dreams you felt forced to let go, and cast at my feet those voices that whisper you are not enough. I promise you, when you kneel down and quiet your heart for a while, I am waiting in the stillness. Receive my forgiveness, which is immediate and total for the truly contrite soul. There is no sin too great, no failure too profound, that my mercy cannot cover. My love for you is vast and everlasting, and nothing can stop my plan in your life. Let this moment be the undeniable demarcation line in your life. Your sinful past is gone. Your glorious future is consecrated and set apart for me. I desire your freedom, your healing. Do not, under any circumstance, listen to the deceptive whispers that claim I have turned my back on you for your imperfections. That is the oldest lie of the enemy. I will never leave you or forsake you. Step into the spiritual splendor I have dressed you in. Embrace your clean slate, the abundant life I offer you. Your commitment is to persevere and strengthen yourself. Begin right now. Choose to stand up against those influences that lead you astray. Walk away from the darkness, and let me fill your heart with joy and courage. I will acknowledge every effort and sacrifice you make. Acknowledge my truth, accept my cleansing, and move forward. My child, your faith is the unbreakable anchor in a world that is shaking. Now, I command you to test your belief. Does it stand firm against the fierce, unexpected winds of doubt and tribulation? You see others around you, even those who claim faith, tremble at the slightest sign of economic trouble or relational strife. You have faced unexpected challenges that brought tears and sorrow. I know the tough times you're enduring, feeling like your strength has depleted. But your faith is not a fragile thing of mere sentiment. It is a divine power I have planted within your spirit. Do not allow circumstances to define you. You possess a strength greater than you realize. Remember my absolute faithfulness. demonstrated from the dawn of creation to the ultimate sacrifice of the cross. You can pass through fires unharmed, navigate through storms without drowning, and command the chaos to calm, and it will listen to you. Who can stop you when I am the one who decides your future? Anchor your hope not in changing circumstances, not in the stock market, or your health report, or a promotion, but in mine unchanging, eternal promises. You are my cherished treasure, and I am the architect of your destiny. This is the truth that must root you, even when life feels like it's slipping away from you. I am your defender, your guide, your God. I invite you to rehearse the testimonies of your deliverance. Let them fuel your present courage. Think back to those dark nights you cried out for help, moments when every door seemed shut, and you thought you couldn't go on. Who was there to lift you up, to open a way, to break down the barrier you faced? It was I. You will not be defeated or humiliated. The grace that brought you through yesterday is the power that sustains you today. Let those memories of my intervention become a wellspring of unwavering belief in this very moment. Exercise your faith in tangible acts of obedience and costly surrender. Faith without corresponding action is dead. What costly step is I asking you to take today? Is it forgiving that person who hurt you deeply? Is it trusting me with your financial uncertainty? Is it speaking my truth boldly, despite the fear of man? Take that step now. Do not wait for the feeling, choose the action. Look beyond the tangible, the visible, recognize that your true, enduring reality is held in the unseen realm of my power. Your faith is the key that unlocks the door to wonders. It connects your prayers to my responses and brings a significant, powerful miracle into your life. You will soon witness the clear resolution of your present difficulty with your own eyes. I am always with you, looking after you, and I will richly reward your hard work and commitment. Your challenges are not too great for me, for I am the God of the impossible. You are strong, capable, and armed with my might. Believe in my power, stand tall in my promises, and let your faith be the final word. My child, prayer is not merely a formality. It is the lifeline of your existence and the strategic weapon against the spiritual darkness that presses in. Do not let your knees grow weak or your voice falter. I command you to persist in your supplications with an unyielding, resolute spirit. I see you. I hear your whispers, your silent tears. Your heartfelt prayers reach my sacred throne like sweet incense. I am not turning away from your pleas. You are approaching me with genuine faith, and I view your prayers with deep affection. Pray with an urgency that acknowledges the undeniable nearness of my return. Let the gravity of this hour infuse every word you speak to me. This is not a casual request. It is a desperate plea from the warrior's heart. Cultivate that persistent faith, that deep conviction that moves me to act. I want you to feel the pulse of your faithful heart. Use my word, the immutable source of all truth, as the foundation for your petitions. Pray my will back to me. Remind me of my unwavering promises, for they are good, real, strong, and true. Speak my word and proclaim my truth, even in the midst of adversity, and it will yield its fruit to you. Cultivate a sacred, continuous posture of communion, making your entire life a living altar where your deepest longing is to be close to me, safely wrapped in my divine embrace. Do not wait for a perfect moment or a special feeling. Talk to me always, at any time, about anything. I am always present, ready to listen and carry your burdens. You are weary, stressed, and facing challenges. Come, take a break with me. I am here to share my peace and wisdom with you. Pray not only for yourself, but intercede fiercely for those who remain lost in darkness, the family members who resist my truth, the friends who mock your faith, and the countless souls who don't know the love I offer. Your love for them is a powerful force, and I am working in their hearts because of your prayers. Your active faith makes me happy, especially as you openly share your hopes with me. Expect the miraculous. Never, ever limit the boundless scope of what your Almighty Father can and will accomplish. Your commitment and your genuine love for me are what truly matter. I am ready to give you the strength of a mighty buffalo, enabling you to stand firm against the toughest storms. Persist in prayer, wait patiently for my perfect timing, and watch as I turn the impossible into undeniable truth. My child, your worship is the very breath of your transformed spirit, and I require it to be pure, focused, and unadulterated. This means you must immediately remove the seductive idols of distraction and comfort from the sacred sanctuary of your heart. I know you. I know where your focus drifts, the endless scrolling, the pursuit of fleeting pleasures, the need for human approval, and the accumulation of things you think will bring security. These are subtle idols, competing for the reverence due only to me. I call you to a higher path, away from the fleeting and the superficial. I command you to worship me in spirit and in truth, with a sincerity that transcends mere ritual or a weekly attendance. You not be like those who go to great lengths to earn my favor, donning sadness and undertaking significant acts just to catch my eye, all while missing the true, heartfelt faith you possess. I seek a heart full of genuine, simple faith. Let your entire life, your work, your rest, your giving, your interactions with others, be a continuous, unwavering act of adoration. Your character is your worship. Your actions sing to me and honor me deeply. Elevate genuine reverence and awe above mere performance or fleeting emotionalism. Worship is not a mood you chase, but a position you take, a humble recognition of my boundless worthiness. Stop worrying about how your worship looks to others. Seek me quietly, behind closed doors, and I promise, I will honor you openly in the world. Your victories won't come from aggression or force, but from seeking me, knowing I am right there with you, enveloping you the very moment you call. Restore the awe of my holiness to the center of your contemplation. I am the creator of all that is seen and unseen. My power is greater than any obstacle, greater than all the trials you face. Focus solely on my worthiness, for in true, unselfish worship, all earthly anxieties, worries, and fears will immediately diminish. You will come to know that I am the only one who can fill the emptiness in your life. Your purpose is to be a living testament to my boundless power. I want to see you thrive and succeed in all you do. I will shower you with abundance and fill your life with peace and plenty. Your faith will be rewarded. Every act of goodness will be recognized. Shed the pretense, restore the awe. Let your whole life be a melody of pure, unreserved devotion, and watch as your inner peace becomes unshakable. My child, pause now. Do you truly believe that my heart is indifferent to your struggle? I tell you, it would be a grievous disappointment if you turned away at this critical point, letting the enemy steal the half-won victory right out of your hands. You have peeled back the layers of compromise and glimpsed the majesty I hold for you. Do not wound my love with your withdrawal. Return now and receive the power I poured out just for you. My child, you hold in your hand the living, life-giving breath of my voice, my sacred word. I command you to treat the scriptures not as mere literature for intellectual pursuit, but as the essential nourishment for your soul, the map to your safe harbor, and the light unto your path. This is how you feed your soul and mind, letting go of the things that push you into loneliness. Commit to doing the word, not merely reading it for intellectual assent. You seek clarity, wisdom, and answers for your complex problems. The solutions are found in those pages. Don't let my words be something you only glance at. Let them be written in your heart so that each morning you wake up, expecting new expressions of my love and care. My word holds the truth, and following its guidance brings joy and blessings every single day. Meditate deeply upon the truths revealed, allowing them to transform your inner being, renewing your thinking, and altering how you react to challenges. I know you face a world full of trouble and deception. But remember, it's a world I have already won over for you. Let my word fill your mind with positive thoughts and open your eyes to my goodness in your path. Seek the wisdom hidden within its pages, for it is the ultimate source of knowledge and discernment. I desire you to grow in understanding and spiritual life. Guard your mind fiercely against the deceptive, novel interpretations that cater to the fallen nature. The enemy seeks to confuse you, to plant doubts, and to divert you from my special plan. Be alert. Do not be carried away by every nonsense you see, hear, or read. Let the Bible be the final, non-negotiable authority for every choice and belief you make. When you face a new challenge, turn to my words, quiet your heart, and my Holy Spirit will talk to you, offering solutions and clarifying your doubts. Your spiritual vision will become clear, and you will see things differently. Embrace the Scripture. Let its light conquer your shadows, and let my truth be the unshakable plumb line of your life. My child, the core of my law, the very essence of my heart, is love. I give you this final, essential command. Let your love be demonstrated in practical, sacrificial acts, not merely in beautiful, empty words. You have been entrusted with the power to show my love through genuine kindness to everyone you meet. Your active, intentional love is the undeniable proof of your discipleship, witnessed by the watching world. I know the weight of unforgiveness you carry, the pain inflicted by others, and the desire for justice. But I command you to forgive those who have wronged you fully, releasing the debt and the bitterness that chains your own spirit. Unforgiveness is a heavy burden you were never meant to carry into the coming age. I have shown you boundless mercy and forgiveness. You must extend that same grace to the unlovely, remembering the limitless compassion shown to you. Strive for unity within my body, the community of believers who need your stability and comfort. Lay down your personal preferences and the need to be right for the sake of concord. Carry one another's burdens, fulfilling the law of Christ in compassionate service. Your life, especially in tough times, inspires others. Be a source of stability, comfort, and truth for your brothers and sisters in faith. See every soul through my eyes, recognizing the intrinsic, non-negotiable value I placed upon them. Look with love and understanding, not judgment and scorn. Your presence, filled with my Spirit, uplifts many, even if they don't say it. Your love for others is the living proof that you know me. Act with kindness, extend my grace, release your unforgiveness, and let your life become a vivid, powerful reflection of my own enduring love. My beloved, I must speak to you plainly about the spiritual battles you face, for your mind is the primary battlefield. Be alert, my child. The enemy's strategies intensify with a ferocious and subtle cunning as his time grows short. You see him in the world's aggressive darkness, but I warn you, his most dangerous work is the deception that wears the guise of light or reason. He aims to make the sacred seem strange and the profane seem perfectly normal. You must test every spirit, every doctrine, and every appealing influence against the plumb line of my truth, my word alone. Do not be emotionally swayed by charismatic teachers or philosophies that feel good but fall short of the cross. Beware the subtle, treacherous lure of false peace and easy compromise with the world systems. That feeling of needing to fit in, to quiet the holy conviction within you so you don't offend others. That is the enemy's trap. He wants you to believe that peace means the absence of conflict. But I tell you, true peace is my presence right in the middle of the storm. You live in a world full of trouble, but remember, it's a world I have already won over for you. Stand firm in the truth of my teachings, for they will protect you from the enemy's schemes. Refuse to be chained by negativity. Reject any notion of defeat or scorn. The adversary of your peace will try to convince you that you are utterly alone, that I have turned my back on you for your imperfections, but that is a grievous lie. You must not be carried away by novel teachings that depart, even slightly, from the solid foundation of the gospel. Any doctrine that minimizes my holiness, that justifies your sin, or that shifts the glory from me to man, must be immediately rejected. Gird your mind with truth, my warrior, resisting the temptation to intellectual laziness in spiritual matters. This isn't the time to be foolish, but to be wise in understanding my will. When you are unsure, turn to my word, kneel down, and quiet your heart for a while. I am waiting in the stillness, and my Holy Spirit will talk to you, offering solutions and clarifying your doubts. Maintain a clear, unyielding distinction between the glorious kingdom of light, where you belong, and the dominion of darkness, which seeks to claim your allegiance. Do not let darkness into your heart. Your life should be a living testimony of my work within you. This clarity of vision is your shield against deceit. The enemy, full of spite, is jealous of the victory I have wrapped you in. He will do everything to attack you, trying to shake the peace you found in me. He underestimates you, never expecting you would turn to me, admitting your flaws and mistakes. But when you trust in me, your mind is shielded, and the enemy retreats in confusion. Your spiritual well-being, your drive, and your focus are at risk. Choose to stand up against those who lead you astray. If anyone tries to pull you down into darkness, walk away immediately. I have given you my love and forgiveness. Now, I want you to be free from sin and mistakes. I am here for you, arms wide open, ready to listen and understand everything you are facing. Your faith in me is a formidable force that steers you towards brightness even on the darkest days. I will enlighten you, providing the wisdom needed to discern the enemy's schemes before they unfold. Be watchful, be discerning, and let my light expose every shadow. My beloved child, let us talk about the practical reality of your life, your resources, your time, and your possessions. I need you to remember this truth. Every possession, every talent, every single moment of your day is a temporary, conditional loan from me. Do not be deceived into thinking you own anything. You are merely a steward. Hold lightly to the things of this world, recognizing their imminent dissolution, for the earth and the very skies will fade away. Your emotional freedom hinges on this awareness. I command you to use your material wealth, your finances, and your influence to aggressively advance my kingdom, not merely to accumulate comfort and security for yourself. You worry about scarcity, about debts, about your financial future. I know the anxiety the fear of lack brings you. But I am the God of abundance, not scarcity. I have the power to change any circumstance, to turn sadness into joy, lack into plenty, worry into peace. When you invest in my work, you are investing in eternal returns. Give thanks with specific detail, demonstrating a heart that truly sees my hand at work. You must cultivate a spirit of generosity that vividly reflects the boundless giving of your Father. Manage your time, my child, as the most precious, non-renewable asset, designated first and foremost for my service and my purposes. Stop wasting precious hours on trivial pursuits that yield no eternal fruit. I desire your presence, your dedication, and your time. Dedicate time when the world is still. Bring me your heart's cries. Stop the habits that are hurting you, that push you into loneliness and away from peace. I will not bless procrastination or distraction. Your life is incredibly precious to me. Invest in eternal returns by supporting the spread of the gospel to the ends of the earth. Your financial blessings are not just for your family's prosperity, but to enable you to assist those in need and uplift the less fortunate. I will open the windows of heaven and pour out my blessings upon you. Give thanks and trust, for I am reshaping your life. I desire for you to flourish and succeed in all you do. The spiritual rewards are far greater than anything this world can offer. Cultivate a deep, abiding spirit of generosity. Remember, my true blessings manifest not just in wealth, but in the harmony and stability of your family, in the health and wisdom that usher in seasons of happiness. I will open doors of opportunity, bringing forth prosperity you've never seen before. Your faith, coupled with generosity, is the key to abundance. Manage wisely, give freely, live consciously, and watch as your physical resources become tools for eternal triumph. My child, let the gravity of this moment ignite a fiery urgency within your soul. You must understand that many around you may never hear the gospel again after this fleeting window closes. This is not a drill. This is the decisive hour, and the responsibility to reach the lost rests heavily upon your soul. Your life has been transformed by my boundless love. Now, you are called to be a beacon of that truth. I command you to speak my truth with both unyielding boldness and tender compassion to those around you. Do not let the fear of man or the shame of your past muzzle the powerful message I have entrusted to you. Your life, your recovery, your very presence is a testimony to my transforming grace. You are a living testament to the boundless power of your omnipotent God. Let others seek you out and see my reflection in you. I will empower you to conquer every trial and temptation. Your primary purpose, your magnificent calling, is to live a life so profoundly transformed that your actions proclaim the message before your lips even open. Let your life be a silent sermon, undeniable proof of my reality and my ability to aid them. People notice your zest for life. They see where your strength comes from. You are my ambassador, a bearer of the good news. Do not be ashamed of the gospel. It is my absolute power for salvation for everyone who believes. You have received this message. Take it in again. Feel it and accept it. When others predict defeat, you will stand firm, and your countenance will shine. Seize every opportunity, my faithful one, to sow the seed of my word, regardless of the immediate, visible fruit. Your responsibility is to speak. The miracle of the harvest belongs to me. Fulfill the Great Commission. This is the essence of your purpose. Your life will be a light in Christ Jesus. I have given you unique gifts and inspiring abilities to showcase my strength and might in this world. Do not succumb to the fear of failure or the scorn of critics. When they look down upon you, they will be astonished as they witness all that I will accomplish through you. You are set for blessings, and your enemies can see it, which is why they are out to block your path. Go forth with boldness, speak with love, and let your life shine as a beacon to the lost. Beloved, wait. You are standing on the very threshold of your deepest transformation, yet I sense a lingering shadow of distraction pulling at your spirit. To stop now would be to dishonor the price of your calling, allowing the small, fleeting worries to triumph over my grand, eternal purpose. You think I brought you this far to abandon you to the silence. Grieve not the Holy Spirit with spiritual laziness. Show me your fidelity now. Continue, and inherit the glory I prepared. My beloved, I have just commanded you to live in the urgency of this final hour and to be a beacon of witness to the lost. Now, my child, hear this sacred invitation. You may feel small, but your generosity is the fuel for this mission. the oil for the lamp that lights the way for thousands who are still shrouded in darkness. This message, which may be the last they hear, is the living water I pour out to a parched world. Your support ensures the river keeps flowing. I declare over you now, the one who sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, but the one who sows generously will reap an abundant harvest. Your offering is not mere currency. It is seed for the final harvest. Connect your purpose to my pavilion. Use the resources I have loaned you, the super thanks, the membership, the link in the description, to ignite the fire of the gospel in a heart you may never meet. I command you, sow your seed into this eternal ground now, and watch as I multiply your gift 100-fold. My beloved warrior, you must be prepared for the final intensification of trials, knowing with absolute certainty that they are designed to refine your character, not to destroy your soul. I have not promised you an easy life, but I have promised you my strength will never leave your side. When obstacles arise, remember that I will not leave you behind. Your current pain is temporary. Your glory is eternal. Do not let yourself be tossed about by the relentless waves of worry and fear. Rejoice when persecution comes, for it aligns you directly with my suffering and guarantees you a profound, everlasting reward. Your enemies may rise against you, but my power is greater. I will lead you out of the desert and bring you to a refreshing spring. Trust me in every step you take and in every challenge you face, because you will come out on top. Let your endurance be a testament to my sustaining grace and power in your life. Do not lose heart, my child. My strength is perfected and magnified precisely in your perceived weakness. You may feel tired, overwhelmed, and unsure of the bigger picture. Hold on to me and proclaim my promises. When worries consume you, I will bring peace to your mind and calm to your heart. You are my beloved victorious through Christ Jesus. Your strength is not your own. It is my Holy Spirit dwelling within you. Look past the temporal pain, the hardship, and the fear, to the incomparable weight of glory that awaits your endurance. The miracle you've been waiting for is coming your way. This is not the end of your story. It is simply another step toward the greatness that awaits you. Cling to my presence as your ultimate shelter and unshakable fortress. You are never alone. Your faith is a light that will guide you to places of peace and prosperity. I will give you the clarity to see the right path and the caution to choose wisely at every crossroad. Let every challenge be a chance for growth and every difficulty a lesson learned. Your tenacity and dedication will be rewarded amply. I will deliver your victory. Endure with courage, look to the light, and let my presence be your all-sufficient strength. My child, you are running a race toward a finish line that is unlike any earthly prize. I command you to fix your gaze on the ultimate reward, the crown of life and my eternal, unveiled presence. Stop being consumed by the temporary struggles, the financial debt, the relational conflict, the anxiety over tomorrow. These things, though they feel immense now, are fleeting and insignificant compared to the glory that awaits you. Live every single day with the clear, settled expectation of standing before me to give account of your service. When you make decisions, ask yourself, will this choice earn the commendation, "Well done, my good and faithful servant"? Do not labor for the praise of man, for their approval is temporary and worthless. Labor only for the honor and commendation of your Father. I don't rank your successes or compare you to anyone. Understand that the fleeting sacrifices and temporary deprivations of this life are insignificant compared to the weight of glory and the boundless joy that lies ahead. You are my cherished treasure, and my promise is forever. I will give you my love, which is deeper than anything you can imagine. Cultivate a deep, spiritual longing for your heavenly citizenship and the perfected state of your soul. You are a royal priesthood, chosen before you were even formed in your mother's womb, destined for greatness and prosperity. Let the hope of the new heavens and the new earth motivate your holiness today. This conviction will lift you up even on your hardest days and through the toughest fights. Your life is still unfolding, and within its pages, you will encounter teaching, affection, and growth. Cling to hope, knowing this challenging period will pass. I will place a crown upon your head with my own hands. You will see how my promises bloom where you can achieve what you aim for. Focus on the prize. Let my promise be your motivation, and live today in the light of eternal glory. My child, I have called you to peace, and unresolved conflict is a heavy anchor that drags down your spirit and hinders your communion with me. I command you to take the initiative to mend any rift, division, or quiet coldness that stands between you and your brother or sister. Your relationship with me, the purest love you possess, is hindered by unresolved conflict with your loved ones. You are aware of my love for you, and that I will respond, but I appreciate your calmness when my answers don't come as quickly as you'd like. That is your patience. You must seek reconciliation with those you have offended, making amends wherever possible, valuing unity over the pride of being right. Refuse to carry the crushing burden of unforgiveness into the coming age. That bitterness will poison your soul and steal the very peace I died to give you. You cannot command the chaos to calm and it listen to you if your heart is full of hatred or malice. Forgive those who have caused you pain, and leave them in the past along with those memories. I will handle them. I will transform even negative circumstances to your benefit. Let humility guide your steps toward peace. Acknowledge your part in the conflict, if only the fault of silence or emotional withdrawal. Value unity over the exhausting battle of being right. Do not let harmful sentiments take root within you. Seek out good people who encourage and uplift you. Understand that your worship, your most profound act of devotion, is severely hindered by unresolved conflict with your brother or sister. When you come to my altar, leave your offering and go. Reconcile first. Mirror my heart by actively pursuing harmony and restoring fellowship among men. This command is for your benefit and for the advance of my kingdom. I will give you the wisdom to fight so that no emotion of defeat will ever dominate you again. I want your life to overflow with joy and love so noticeably that everyone can see it. Your family, even those far off, will experience my presence in a whole new, powerful way. I am actively working in the lives of those you love. Show them their worth to you and how loyal you are to me. This will transform their lives. Let go of the bitterness, choose humility, and walk the hard road of reconciliation. My child, I gave you this body and this mind as sacred vessels, and you must honor them. I command you to treat your physical body as the temple of my Holy Spirit, maintaining its dignity and its health. Your well-being is incredibly important to me. Stop abusing it with excessive indulgence, chaotic desires, or passions that steal your vitality. I am your healer from heaven, but you must be a faithful steward of the life I have given you. Guard the gateways of your mind against unholy images, destructive thoughts, and negative influences that seek to take hold. Your mind is a garden, and you must vigilantly pull out the weeds of worry and despair. Refuse to carry the weight of tomorrow's troubles. Renew your mind daily with the truth, casting down every destructive imagination, every lie the enemy whispers about your inadequacy or failure. I will bring peace to your mind and calm to your heart. You must fill your mind with my promises that bring healing. Walk in temperance and self-control, mastering the urges of the flesh. Flee from all forms of immorality and impurity of every kind. Uphold the purity of my design. This is not about harsh judgment, It is about choosing true freedom over the temporary, bitter pleasure of sin. Sin only leads to hurt, turmoil, and ruin. Remember that true freedom is found not in license, but in complete devotion to righteousness. I desire your freedom from all mental affliction through the healing power of my shed blood. I am removing those fears that lurk in the corners of your past, lifting the weight of your sins. You are clean and forgiven now. You just have to accept it. I have endowed you with the power to overcome all adversities. Honor your temple, choose purity, renew your mind, and walk in the true freedom of self-control. My child, the journey I have set before you requires a deep, unshakable courage, rooted not in recklessness, but in a simple, profound obedience. I command you now, do not shrink back from the difficult path that my divine call requires of you. You have been made resilient and brave. Your destiny is in my hands, and no one else's. Embrace the assignments I have given you, whether great or small, with a spirit of boldness and firm resolution. Your perseverance and faith will propel you to realms beyond your wildest dreams. Choose my truth over the crippling fear of man, standing firm regardless of the cost to your reputation or comfort. I know you will face a new challenge. When you do, turn to my words. Your faith in me is the greatest testimony. Do the next right thing, my child, even when the final outcome is uncertain and requires a costly leap of faith. This is the simple, powerful act that defines true discipleship. Recall that every great servant in history, from Noah building an ark on dry land, to Abraham leaving his home for a promised land he had not seen, walked a path defined by simple, costly obedience. Your efforts are never wasted. Let your life be indelibly marked by deep-seated determination to finish the race I set before you. Keep going, no matter what stands in your way. The strength you are looking for is ready for you to grab it. Dive into my word every day. Let my promises be written in your heart. I am your ultimate reward. I will make you strong, wise, and brave. I am the one who empowers you with my grace and love. With me, you can achieve anything you set your mind to. When you move forward, you will see my power working in your favor. Walk in boldness, choose my truth, and let your obedience be the measure of your love. Look at the distance you have covered. My heart aches at the thought that you might surrender the last few inches of your journey. Do not let the weariness of your body dictate the surrender of your soul. Every word remaining is a weapon forged for your final defense. It would deeply disappoint my expectation for your courage if you left my counsel unfinished. Show me your warrior spirit, my faithful one. Listen, and be made invincible. My cherished child, let the virtue of gratitude become the constant, living atmosphere of your soul. I command you to acknowledge my goodness in all circumstances, even in the midst of sorrow, uncertainty, or perceived lack. You have recognized the immense power of being thankful, fully aware of what a grateful heart can achieve. This thankfulness is not a denial of your pain, but an elevation of my sovereignty above your immediate suffering. Count the multitude of blessings I have poured out upon you, from the very air you breathe, the food on your table, the roof over your head, to the incomprehensible sacrifice of the cross. I'm always with you, always providing. I have blessed you so much that everyone will see how much I care for you. I will shower you with abundance in every aspect of your life. Let a constant melody of thanksgiving rise from your heart, for this holy offering instantly confounds the enemy and silences the accuser. When chaos surrounds you, thank me. When worry tries to grip you, praise me. Your faithful prayers, wrapped in tears of love, reach me with sweet melodies. Your tears and trials have been observed, and your unwavering trust in me during your hardest times has not gone unnoticed. Guard your heart fiercely against the insidious nature of entitlement and the corrosive spirit of complaint. Do not let a critical spirit steal the joy and hope I have given you. Do not be like those who constantly grumble, eyeing the virtuous and aiming to steal their blessings. Recognize that even the most painful trials you face are filtered through my perfect love for your ultimate sanctification and growth. Trust me, my child. The heavier the trial, the more magnificent the reward. You are stronger than you think. I will turn big challenges into chances for you. Give thanks with specific detail, demonstrating a heart that truly sees my hand at work in the small and large moments of your day. This attitude of gratitude is your shield and your strength. Be thankful for the victory already won. Let joy be your weapon, and walk in the abundance of my ceaseless provision. My precious one, the true measure of your spiritual stature is not in your visible accomplishments, but in the depth of your humility. I command you to walk humbly before your God, knowing with absolute certainty that every single ounce of your strength, every talent you possess, and every accomplishment you claim originates entirely from me. This awareness is your greatest protection against the enemy, for pride is the very trap that blinds the soul and leads to a devastating fall. I want you to remember the hard lessons you've learned, the moments where self-reliance led to painful stumbles. Those experiences were my gentle, yet firm, guide, showing you that without my hand, you can achieve absolutely nothing. I charge you, therefore, do not seek the spotlight or the fleeting, deceptive praise of men for your good works. Let your deeds be done in secret, known only to me, so that they may truly glorify your Father in heaven. When you serve, do so with a heart that is not looking for a pat on the back, but is focused solely on the joy of giving, mirroring the boundless giving of your Father. Acknowledge your complete, moment-by-moment dependency on my grace for every breath you draw and every victory you claim. You are strong in me, yes, but that strength is my gift, my power dwelling within you. Be quick to elevate and champion others, celebrating their success as if it were your own, and be slow to take offense or to demand recognition for your efforts. Guard against the venom of spiritual pride, the notion that your knowledge or devotion makes you superior to another soul. That arrogance blinds the soul to my continued teaching and prevents the flow of my grace. Remember the vast multitude of blessings that were extended to you when you were at your lowest, when you felt worthless and lost. That memory is the perpetual wellspring of your humility. I resist the proud, my child, but I give my grace, my supernatural, enabling power, in abundance to the meek and lowly of heart. You cannot afford to live under my resistance in these final hours. Choose the path of lowliness. It is the path of limitless grace and perpetual peace. When you stand before me, the crown I place on your head will be made glorious not by your own striving, but by the weight of the humble character you have formed. Your age is of no consequence, your past mistakes are forgiven, but your attitude of humility and sincerity is what truly delights my heart. Walk humbly, choose meekness, and let my grace be your sole boast, for in your humility lies your greatest strength. You will have wisdom, growth, and understanding, and the gift to discern the enemy's schemes. You are a living testimony of my unending love. You will witness the realization of many dreams you thought were unattainable. Your integrity and faithfulness are precious to me. My beloved one, time is accelerating, and you must cease wasting the precious remaining moments on trivial pursuits that yield no eternal fruit. I call you to a life defined by divine purpose, a focused, intentional existence that maximizes the use of every breath I grant you. I command you to clarify the unique calm and gifting I have placed within your life for my kingdom's advance. You were not made by accident, but carefully crafted with love and intention, set up for success and prepared with wonderful blessings. Your existence serves a grand, cosmic design. Do not waste the precious remaining time on trivial pursuits that yield no eternal fruit. I see you struggling to juggle endless commitments, many of which are distractions cleverly disguised as necessities. You must focus your energy, your thought life, and your material resources on activities that directly align with my purposes and draw others into the light of my love. Evaluate your current commitments ruthlessly, shedding those that distract from your primary spiritual mission. If it doesn't glorify me, if it doesn't build your character, and if it doesn't serve others, you must question its place in your life. Walk moment by moment in the awareness that your existence serves a grander, cosmic design. I have a profound purpose for you, and for all you love, and that purpose will be fulfilled, even if you don't see or understand it right now. I am not delayed. I am orchestrating everything in your favor, bringing you closer to the fulfillment of your unique calling. Execute your daily tasks, whether they are cleaning your home, performing your job, or interacting with family, with absolute excellence, knowing that your labor is first and foremost unto the Lord. Your work, when done in faith, is an act of worship. Do not let laziness or lack of motivation steal your vision. I am renewing your purpose and vision starting today. I'll revive the vigor and zest you've misplaced amidst your anxieties. You have the potential to shape your destiny and rise to the high mountain of holiness. I will equip you with the courage and ability to accomplish great things. Clarify your call, focus your efforts, and live fully in the purpose I have designed for you, for the time is short. You will witness the unfolding of my abundant and glorious blessings in your life. I am preparing you for a time fast approaching, a place brimming with opportunity. I have given you the wisdom to fight so that no emotion of defeat will ever dominate you again. My cherry child, you were created for connection, designed to thrive within the context of relationship, and I forbid you to walk this final, critical path in isolation. Do not forsake the gathering of my people. Mutual encouragement, truth, and accountability are absolutely vital for your endurance in these final days. Your isolation is a dangerous vulnerability that the enemy seeks to exploit for your spiritual ruin. I command you to surround yourself with a community of good people who will be blessed by the beautiful heart you possess and who, in turn, will build you up and encourage you. Submit to and honor the spiritual authorities I have placed over you for guidance and spiritual instruction. Their wisdom, drawn from my word and experience, is a protective hedge around your soul. Be discerning, yes, but do not allow a proud, lone wolf spirit to cut you off from the nourishment you desperately need. Carry one another's burdens, my beloved, fulfilling the very law of Christ through compassionate service and true, practical empathy. Share your resources, your unique wisdom, and your God-given strength freely within the body of Christ. This is how my love is demonstrated in practical, sacrificial acts. Be a source of stability, comfort, and unwavering truth for your brothers and sisters in faith. Do not be influenced by those who scorn my word. Move forward and persist. Be a source of stability, comfort, and truth for your brothers and sisters in faith. In these times of great confusion, I need you to be the steady voice, the consistent presence, guiding them back to my word and my promises. Understand that your isolation is a dangerous vulnerability that the enemy seeks to exploit. He wants you alone so he can whisper lies about your worth and sow seeds of doubt about your future. Do not allow it. Run to the fellowship. Find refuge in your community. Let my love flow through you and sustain the hearts of those around you. I will surround you with sincere and steadfast companions. Seek out this fellowship, submit to this wisdom, and let mutual love be your fortress in the coming storm. My child, you are a warrior living under the constant, glorious certainty of the bridegroom's sudden arrival. I command you to live each day as though it were your very last, settling all accounts, both with your God and with your fellow man. This truth should not provoke fear, but a focused, intense preparation that simplifies your life and electrifies your witness. Your faith is precious to me. Ensure your garments of righteousness are spotless, clean, and brilliant, ready for the marriage feast that is even now being prepared. I have forgiven your faults and cleansed you with my grace. You are a new person. My blood has purified you, broken your chains, and set you free from all evil. Do not let the mud of unconfessed sin or lingering bitterness stain the pure clothing I have given you. Review your testimony right now. Is your life story a clear, undeniable depiction of my saving power and transforming grace? Does your conduct match the commitment you profess in prayer? Do not leave unresolved issues, especially relational conflicts, that could cause your loved ones to stumble after you are instantly gone. Seek reconciliation, make amends, and pursue peace with all men, so that you may greet me with a clean heart and a clear conscience. I will not bless a soul who pretends to love me publicly but harbors bitterness in secret. You must leave behind a legacy of love, unity, and unwavering faith, not a trail of questions and regrets. Keep your spiritual lamps full of oil, my child, ready for the bridegroom's sudden, unannounced arrival. Your oil is your continuous devotion, your obedient acts, and the consistent filling of my Holy Spirit. Walk in continuous readiness, having prepared your soul for the instant transition into glory. Your life will be an instrument through which I bring blessings to humanity. This is not difficult. It simply requires you to embrace your humanity and limitations, living by my words every single day. Be ready, be clean, live intentionally, and walk in the sure hope of your immediate departure to my side. My child, stop and hear the thunder of my love. Do you comprehend the magnitude of the preparation I am revealing? To ignore these remaining commands is to risk your readiness, a failure I desperately want you to avoid. It would bring me great sorrow to see you unprepared when the final trumpet sounds, having listened to all but the essential closing commands. Do not let the enemy exploit this vulnerability. Commit fully now. The completion of this word is your safeguard. My precious one, you have just prepared your heart for my immediate departure, resolving to live in constant readiness with your lamp full. But tell me, can you prepare your own lamp and ignore the shadows that still consume your brother? I now call you to extend this vigilance. Your giving is the act of filling other lamps with the oil of my word. This message is manna delivered in the wilderness of deception. Your aid ensures this lifeline of truth reaches the starving souls before it is too late. I decree this truth over your finances. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, poured into your lap. This is your divine appointment to intercede through action. Your support is an offering of fire on my altar, demonstrating a fidelity that transcends mere listening. Rise up, my generous one. Use the super thanks, the membership, or the PayPal link in the description. I command you, be my hand of provision today, and receive my eternal protection and multiplication over all your resources. My beloved child, I know the weight of the world settles heavily on your shoulders. I see your struggle with anxiety, that relentless, corrosive voice that whispers what if, and tries to steal your present peace. I command you now, with all the authority of your Creator, to cast off all anxiety. Refuse to carry the paralyzing burden of tomorrow's troubles. My grace is already sufficient for this very moment, and no more. The wisdom of humility recognizes its human limitations and transfers the burden to the omnipotent. Entrust your deepest fears, your most uncertain outcomes, and your biggest financial and relational worries entirely to my sovereign, capable hand. Your worries do not increase my provision, but they certainly deplete your joy and diminish your spiritual vision. I have heard you, my child. Your prayers are always heard and cherished. Remember my promise to care for you, which is infinitely greater and more steadfast than my meticulous care for the birds of the air or the lilies of the field. Do you truly believe I will plow the flower but leave my own cherished child exposed to the storm? This doubt is the very lie the enemy uses to ensnare your heart. Replace every anxious thought with a powerful declaration of my truth, my unshakable power, and my limitless provision. Speak my word aloud, proclaiming victory over the fear of lack and the dread of failure. Let my perfect peace, which surpasses all earthly understanding, garrison, stand guard and fortify your heart and your mind against the enemy's relentless assaults. This peace is my gift to you. Receive it today in your heart. Understand that worry is a subtle, yet powerful, form of idolatry. It is the active choice to doubt my ultimate control and believe that circumstances are mightier than your God. You are stronger than you think, my child, because I am within you. I will not abandon you. Your financial burdens will be lifted, your debts settled, and prosperity will follow all that you undertake. Cast the burden, embrace my peace, and let your trust in my control be the most powerful statement of your faith. My beloved, as the world around you increasingly demands that you conform to its unstable patterns, you must now, more than ever, maintain and proclaim your unshakable identity in Christ. I command you to rehearse the truth of who you are, a new creation, fully adopted, fiercely loved, and sealed by my Spirit. This truth is your spiritual heritage and the foundation of your authority. Do not allow the world's judgment, its harsh words, or its temporary condemnation to redefine your immense worth. I see you struggling with feelings of inadequacy, with lies that whisper you are not enough or that your past defines you. These lies are the enemy's greatest tool. You are my son, my daughter, a protected prince or princess, eternally guarded by your mighty heavenly Father. Walk in the authority and power delegated to you as my representative on this earth. You have been empowered by my might to conquer every challenge and prevail over all adversaries. Do not let fear or timidity diminish the spiritual authority I have invested in you. Reject any label or lie that contradicts the boundless freedom won for you at the cross. Your sins have been erased, paid for by my precious blood. Your true identity is found only in the truth of my word, not in your temporary failures or the opinions of man. Embrace the purpose of your calling, recognizing your unique, vital place in my eternal family. I want you to be a beacon of light in this world. Let the Holy Spirit continually affirm your spiritual inheritance and your royal lineage. Your faith will grow strong, and you'll be like a tree by the water, flourishing, bearing fruit of plenty, never withering. Stand firm in your identity, reject the lies, and walk in the confidence of your royal lineage in Christ. My beloved one, I see the weariness in your soul, born from enduring injustice, betrayal, and the painful feeling of having been wronged without consequence. The enemy has marked you, and you have endured scorn at the hands of the wicked who have failed you. You may struggle to reconcile your suffering with my goodness. I command you now, release your grip on the desire for personal revenge, and find profound rest in my solemn promise of justice. Be assured, every deed you have witnessed, both good and evil, will ultimately be brought into my perfect, undeniable judgment. Trust my perfect justice to settle all scores, relieving you of the exhausting, heavy burden of personal revenge. You do not need to fight for vindication, because that is my labor. The wicked and envious cannot stand the brightness shining from you. They plot in their hearts, concocting schemes and traps to hurt you. Your only command is to forgive those who pursue you and threaten you, and I will take care of your enemies. I will lift away the scorn that has marked you endured at the hands of the wicked. I am the one who commands, and I have the first and the last word over your destiny. Know that the present suffering of the righteous will be fully vindicated and rewarded with a measure of glory you cannot yet comprehend. None of what you have experienced shall be in vain. You will witness how your enemies fall, and those who rise against you face defeat and disgrace. Even those who secretly look down upon you and openly criticize you will kneel before you seeking forgiveness. Rest in the knowledge that all spiritual darkness and oppression will be absolutely defeated. Every single chain that has held you captive is broken today. The time for your liberation has come. Let this deep conviction of certain accountability fuel your holiness today. Your life, your recovery, and your very presence are a testimony to my transforming grace. You are strong and courageous, a champion among champions. Focus on living righteously today, leaving the heavy burden of vindication and judgment entirely to me. Your character is also your worship and your praise. Your actions honor me. I admire you greatly, you who have withstood opposing winds without answering with hatred or malice. You are stepping into a supernatural life where you possess strength, wisdom, and maturity. I will not permit anyone to draw you away from my love. You are here to fight for those you love and assist others who have suffered as you have. The enemies that oppose you will end up embarrassed and confused. They will turn into nothing. Surrender the bitterness. Trust my perfect timing, and walk in the confidence that I myself will execute justice on your behalf. I am your shepherd, your provider, and you are committed to trusting in me forever. I am raising you up to build up others, to encourage your family, and to share these powerful and divine words. Your sincere faith and thankful heart are shields that keep you strong in times of trial. I will stand with you, and by my power and love, you are more than a conqueror. You are precious to me. The blessings and the freedom you receive will be abundant. I will heal your ailments, deliver you from captivity, and grant you glorious freedom. Today you can look to the future with faith. Rest now, my child, and let my unwavering justice be your profound, final peace. My cherished child, before I conclude this intimate, final warning, I implore you to grasp the unmeasurable depth of my love, which was demonstrated for you before you even drew your first breath. This moment, this command to listen, to change, to prepare, is the very highest, most tender expression of my enduring compassion for your unique, precious soul. You not for a single moment doubt the personal, intimate care I have for you. I know your struggles and the burdens you carry, for I am intimately acquainted with all your ways. Your problems will never be bigger than your God. Recognize that my discipline, my warnings, and my calls to greater holiness spring directly from a heart that desperately desires your safe, glorious arrival at my side. It is not my desire for you to live in tension and anguish. I want you to be free from all worries, starting today. I will not let you suffer trials beyond what you can bear. You are my beloved child, who obeys and believes in me. You have shown unwavering loyalty. You are not like those who complain about me. Receive my presence as the one constant in this shaking world, a presence that will never be withdrawn from my obedient child. I am always with you, looking after you. Even if you walk through the darkest valleys, my light will always shine your way. I am your strength, your portion, and your exceedingly great reward. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. My love for you is vast, my mercy is infinite, and my Holy Spirit will not allow you to be attacked. I will shield you from harm even when the world seems to crumble. I heard you this morning, I heard you yesterday, and though your words may be few, Your sincerity and intention are what truly matter. I need nothing more. Let this love be the final, most powerful motivation for your fidelity, your bold action, and your complete surrender. My love for you is boundless. It is eternal, steadfast, and unchanging. I will never leave you or abandon you. My love for you is so profound that I gave myself on the cross and rose with power so that you could have eternal life. You are my cherished treasure, and I will forever be by your side, guiding your dreams, ambitions, and wishes with endless love. I will keep my promises. They are good, real, strong, and true. You are my daughter, my son. There's no doubt the word I've sown in you has borne much fruit. I will not abandon you. I will not let go of your hands. Embrace this love, my child. Let it wash away every doubt, and live fully in the security of my eternal, consuming affection for you. My beloved, my child, my victorious one. This is the final word, the benediction of unshakable hope that I send to you from my throne. You have received the warning, accepted the call, and listened to my heart. Now, you must go forth and live in the light of the certainty that the victory is already, irrevocably won. Hold fast to the glorious anticipation of my triumphant return in majesty and power. Fix your gaze on the ultimate day, the day when all tears will be wiped away, and sorrow, confusion, and pain will cease forever. Look forward to the day when you step into the truth of my promise, eternal life in my presence, where fullness of joy permanently resides. This hope is the unbreakable anchor for your soul. Let it infuse your spirit with dynamic, confident courage. Cherish the promise of eternal life in my presence, where fullness of joy resides. The struggles are temporary. The reward is everlasting. You are destined to be crowned with honor and glory. You will dwell in my presence every day. Let your heart burn with the desire to do good, to assist and serve. You are ready to fight for those you love and assist others who have suffered as you have. Go forth with a renewed spirit, my champion, empowered by the certainty of the victory already won on the cross. My power is greater, and your faith is mighty. My spirit lives within you, guiding you to venture into new territories and to conquer any problem or obstacle. My love for you is boundless. I desire for you to flourish and succeed in all you do. May my peace, the transcendent, perfect peace that guards the very heavens, garrison your heart and mind until the glorious moment you see my face. Walk today in the full assurance that I am with you at every juncture. You are capable, strong, and equipped with the inner resolve to get through tough spots. Amen. The word has been spoken. It is not difficult to talk to me. Just close your eyes and say, Lord, I need you, and I will be there by your side. Now go and live it. My steadfast child, you have absorbed the final commands concerning your holiness and the certainty of my justice. Now, let your obedience be an overflow practical love for the lost who still wander in the dark. You asked for a clear purpose. This is it. Your partnership is the engine that drives this message of urgent hope to the ends of the earth. I require that the river of my word does not cease its current, even as the end draws near. Your super thanks, membership, or PayPal gift is the channel I use to keep it flowing. I speak this prophetic blessing over your hands. The liberal soul will be made rich, and he who waters will himself be watered. Do not let the fear of lack diminish the magnitude of this eternal opportunity. Your willingness to sow into this final mission releases a firewall of protection around your own household and guarantees you a harvest far beyond your earthly sowing. Do not delay your commitment. Use the link below the video. I command you, settle your account with me through sacrificial giving and walk in the endless favor I release to the faithful giver. My beloved child, The final word has been sealed in your spirit, and the solemnity of this hour demands an immediate, tangible response. You have received my ultimate warning, my profound promise, and my unwavering love. Now, I command you, do not let this moment pass into silence. Let your fidelity be witnessed. Go now to the comments and declare this truth for all to see. Father, I believe. This is not the last time. I choose to live in the light of your return, ready and surrendered now. Your declaration is your final seal of commitment. Speak this truth, and I will establish it in your reality. Amen.